those days where nothing's going to go right. Okay, hello everybody. Thank you if you actually came back or coming back. We appreciate it. I had major technical difficulties and screwed some things up, but we are back. I am Jamie from Sci-Fivision, for those of you who don't know, and I'm here today with Julie B. Deep Dives, sorry. And if you want to check out her channel, I am going to paste the description, make sure we have it all in there. Yeah, the description's already there. All right. Because I had to basically make a whole nother episode because I screwed everything up. So apologies for that, but we're good now and we're live and nobody's here, but hopefully hopefully people will show up and we'll be listening, or we'll listen to this later, one or the other. I'm going to get the invite link up right now in YouTube, thing. 1 second. I've never done this before. Now, you said that if I just open it, I paste it in the...
Yep, you just paste it in the chat, and then you can pin it. There's a little option next to it. You can hit the 3 dots next to the link and then pin to the top.
Okay, you learn something new every day. All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, we're here. Hopefully we'll get some people within the next... Oh, we do have somebody. Thank you, kind soul. Oh, it's from New NDB Media. It's probably Michael who was helping me figure it out because I screwed it up. But anyway, so for those of you who either listen to this later or jump in, yeah, it's Michael who jump in after the fact. We're going to deep dive the 6th episode, Scar Tissue. And if you want to join our conversation, put a comment in the chat and I will put it on the screen. Or you can actually join our panel. I have pasted the link in the YouTube chat directly, so people can join us. And hopefully we will get people besides Michael. No offense, Michael. We're glad you're here. Thank you for showing up. So at least we're not 100% alone. But Michael is part of NDB Media, who is very nice and hosts our show here on StreamYard. But
nice.
I had everything all set up. I've been tweeting it all night and advertising it during the live tweet. And then I should have just linked to the YouTube channel. I really should have.
Well, I had my own technical difficulties, so don't feel bad. My device has been messing with me all night. I was late, so I'm... No. Well, yeah, it's all right. We're here now.
It's just, this is the first time I ever didn't just link to the YouTube channel. It figures, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay, Michael. We are going to talk about it, some of the specifics. I don't know if you normally watch the show, but we will probably spoil some of it. So if you haven't seen the 6th episode, you might not want to listen. But we have somebody else, somebody who's actually directly from my YouTube channel. So thank you, kind person, who came back after I screwed everything up. All right. Well, we might as well get going because instead of talking about it. So obviously, the two of us have never done this together before. I mean, we've both done shows, but we both do a little different. So we're just trying to do it together, and hopefully y'all like it. And if you do, maybe we'll do it another time. So I was telling Julie, I usually kind of go a little bit in order to keep track of where we're at in the episode so we can discuss, what went on in the episode. But again, now that we have somebody there, I'll repeat what I said. The link to join is in the YouTube chat if you want to join our panel, or if you want to post comments, we'll put them live on the screen. Any, your opinions on the episode, all that, let us know. So I don't know about you, Julie, but I'm kind of been annoyed at Jim. I think most people have. So I kind of, to be honest, found the opening scene somewhat boring compared to the rest of the episode, if I'm 100% honest.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I was glad to see Tabitha yell at him.
Yes.
But I mean, overall, he's complaining for taking care of his kids for a couple days, and he really didn't even take care of his kids. They keep, he keeps letting Ethan run away, and if he was there, maybe things wouldn't go so bad. But she finally gives it to him. And it's obvious she's still being affected from what, the whole discussion at the meeting, the episode before, where people were telling her that she should have done more. How do you feel about that? I mean, I don't think she really could have done much more than she did.
I really don't think she could have done much more. I think she was right to avoid the police like she did. She snuck out of the hospital and avoided talking to the police rather than seeking them out like people thought she should have. She literally avoided them. And I think it was smart. I mean, the police definitely would have suspected her of doing something with their family because she has no explanation for where they've been all this time. And now here she is. Like, how could she possibly explain that? Like, where are they? There are 2 children involved. Like, I don't think she could have done much more, really. I mean, the only reason Henry was finally convinced that she was telling the truth is because of this bizarre connection with his wife and the children that they both saw. This whole thing with going to the tower to save the children. So she wouldn't have been able to convince anybody else.
Yeah.
No way.
The other thing is she didn't even remember their last names, so I don't know that she would have been much help anyway.
She wouldn't have been.
But yeah, I mean, they would have at most put her in a psych ward, I think, and she popped out at a completely different state, so it's not like she could just take them there. But anyway, I'm not sure if there's anything else really in that scene to break down. I want to make sure you get to say everything, because I know, like I said, I know you do yours different. And as I went through this episode and wrote down my notes, there's like a lot of this is more, like you said when I was talking to you before, character development. It's not necessarily part of the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think everybody's kind of annoyed with them, to be honest. Even Julie's like, so not having it, right?
Yeah.
I did like how the monster screamed, though. After they kept screaming, you hear in the background the creature screaming from outside.
I thought that was hilarious. Even the monsters want them to shut up.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what everybody during the show is like. It's saying, "Shut up, Jim. Nobody wants to hear you now." So, well, that's the way it goes. Yeah, I think that's about the end of that. And then Julie, goes to get Ethan, and she leaves because she doesn't want anything to do with it. So that's pretty much that. The next scene, which is what I think, and I've been kind of chatting about on Twitter and saying, because I think it's important, is the conversation Jade has with Boyd. He's all happy. He wants to talk about his theories. Boyd's like, I thought you had something interesting, which I think all of us thought it was interesting, even if Boyd didn't. But he makes this comment about when he's talking about the numbers in the bottle tree. He starts talking about that it could be some kind of code or algorithm, but that maybe it could be, he says, not a wormhole, but I always say the wrong thing. I'm looking for the word and haven't found it. A dimensional rift.
Yeah, dimensional rift. Yeah.
Because he starts saying that maybe the lighthouse and the town both exist in the same place. And it makes me think of how there's 2 trees in both places. So maybe the trees are in the same place. And I mean, Dale, what happened with him? He's existing in the same space as the concrete. So I don't know. It makes me think that something's that could be true. I don't know, but it makes me think of this episode of X-Files, There Was Dreamland, where it's kind of like people were getting embedded in things, and I kind of almost think of it like, I don't want to say another dimension, but like it's close by, but not exactly in the same place. And if you don't like cross over right, then you end up like Dale did.
Yeah. It could be. I was excited when Jade mentioned the wormhole stuff and the dimensional rift, and he even said the word quantum, and I think it's interesting. It just makes me think back to when he was talking about his company and the quantum computing algorithm he developed. And I feel like this season they're shouting out a lot of fan theories, and like one of the fan theories was this whole place was created by this or has something to do with his quantum technology company, which I personally don't think that it created it. I think it's probably been around for hundreds of years, but it's interesting. I mean, maybe his company will have something to do with the plot, though. This is the second time this season they brought it up. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Actually, no, it was the third, because there were 2 references to it in this episode alone. Someone else mentioned it. Ghost Tom did. So yeah, that's interesting. And I personally think this whole thing is a pocket dimension, like Dale thought. I think it is something to do with wormholes and that kind of thing. So I was excited when Shade.
Yeah, no, I was too. Definitely something to that effect, maybe. I know a lot of people do think it's like a video game or something, which I think is sort of where you were going with that. And there are a lot of things I think that make sense with that theory, but not everything fits to me. So I don't know. Red Candy says someone in the Facebook group tried to debunk the image of the rune or the carvings on the talisman, like trees moving in cycles, ghouls and spiders roam at night to keep people from escaping thoughts. Yeah, I've heard different theories on the talisman. I had heard one that I thought was interesting. The person didn't quite complete their thought, but it got me thinking. If you turn the rune sideways, it almost looks like a sun rising and setting, or maybe like above ground, underground. I don't know. I never quite formed a theory out of it, but I wondered if maybe we are looking at it wrong. But as for the trees moving, that, yeah, I know, I forget who it was. Somebody on our other show that we do weekly was talking about the possibility that the town like cycles or moves, rotates, and that things could be in different places, and that maybe that's why Dale ended up in the tree as well. I mean, I think there's definitely cyclical stuff with this show. Exactly what that is, I don't know, but a lot of the stuff seems to bring that idea up for different things. But yeah, I definitely thought that was a really interesting scene. I also wish we could have seen the second tree in the real world, because I almost wonder, and I don't know, but to me, it would be interesting if it had a hole. Like maybe it's a faraway tree. Who knows? Maybe you could just dive right into the town there, because we'll never know. Well, I assume we'll never know. I guess maybe we'll go back to Maine. Who knows? But that would be like an interesting twist if it ended up that like this whole time there was a doorway there and nobody knew about it,
Yeah. It would be interesting. Yeah, like some kind of doorway. Yeah, and I don't know. I never took it that way, that the trees could be moving because like this, this place is moving in some way, or I don't know. I always just, I don't know. I never really understood what to make of the whole trees moving thing. It ties back into like even the trees are menacing here. It seems like the forest is sentient. That he said the trees are moving. That's bad. I remember Victor said that. That's
Yeah.
not a good thing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
things are changing too. That's the other thing that's going to be winter. I think the biggest thing is that Victor is often an unreliable narrator. I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it, because I know in different discords I've gotten into the discussion of, Victor said that tree takes you to the lighthouse. But if his mother never actually made it, how does he know that? I can't remember if the boy in white told him or if his mother said it or what, but I think it's more of like an assumption. So I don't know. The fact that Dale didn't go there, it could be because Dale was not meant to go there, or because he wasn't a good person, or however you want to say that. Or it could just be that it goes different places and Victor was plain wrong. And I know I wanted to talk to you about this too. On our normal weekly show, we've been discussing my one co-host, Karen, who I just noticed showed up in the chat right as I said that. That was weird. Should say jinx there. Hi, Karen. Has this theory that they're kind of manifesting some of the things a lot of times. Like they talk about it and then things happen. So, she said she was going to the lighthouse. Maybe that's why she went to the lighthouse. And I know Dale said something like he was going to be poolside pretty soon, and it could be like a really bad joke, but that the town played on him, but technically he ended up in a pool side. So is that part of it? I don't know. A lot of times I think it could be possible. What do you think about that theory?
I don't know. Like I don't know.
It could go either way. I think a lot of times things to me look like foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it could be not foreshadowing, literally, that they mentioned it. It goes back to, I think, what Sarah said about her brother saying your fears and nightmares can come to the town. So, is it affecting him? Don't know. But yeah,
I
that was kind of.
I definitely do think that the fears and nightmares and like other things that, like people's thoughts, fears, emotions, even someone's actions could manifest into something in this place. So I'm big on that theory. Like the cicadas. Sarah's brother was afraid of cicadas, and I think that could have manifested the cicada entity. So yeah, I'm really into that concept. 100%.
Yeah, and Karen's saying this was one of the things where we were discussing before. I thought it was foreshadowing. She thought it was manifestation. Where Kenny says, "I know what it's like to lose a parent. I don't want your kids to lose both." And then his mom's killed. It's just comments like that, and I think that I definitely think it could go either way. That's what I keep saying. Like I can see both sides of it because we don't really, have an answer. But that's
Yeah.
that's what I think. So is there anything else you have to add about what we've talked about so far? I don't want to move on if you have anything else to.
Well, like the jade scene, like that in particular, or
Just what we've gone over so far. I just meant if you had anything else to add.
um, well, like yeah, the first the jade scene was exciting. I love the stuff that he brought up, and I just hope that it doesn't mean whenever a major character brings up things that this that could be related to this place or explain it, I worry that, well, in some cases I'm relieved when they bring it up because I'm like, okay, that theory is probably not true. And he said those things and it just made me think, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's not related to some other dimension or wormholes or whatever, maybe it's something else, because he mentioned it. Jim
Yeah,
mentioned
like if they mention it, that means it's not the answer, kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes I feel like that too. I
yeah.
see Karen has another example. I didn't even think of this, but that's actually kind of true. She said Fatima said she didn't want to see it, and she didn't. So that kind of feeds back
Oh,
into that. Yeah, there's a lot of examples in the show if you go back. That's why I said it's kind of like I kind of go back and forth. It's also foreshadowing, so it's hard to tell. And I know that some of it is, if it is foreshadowing, is really, really blatant foreshadowing. But I also kind of feel like some people maybe don't go as in depth as we do. So
yeah.
they may not think it's as obvious as we do. So I don't know. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I love seeing Jade's theories. I've said multiple times, I feel like he's like the audience because he's trying to figure out the answers. But yeah, I agree with what you said too, though. Sometimes when they bring up a theory, it makes you think, well, it can't be that because they wouldn't have them figure it out now. So,
Yep. That concerns me. I don't know. Because I like that theory. And other
yeah.
stuff that people have brought up, like Tabitha thinking in season 1, maybe they all died and they're in purgatory. Or, not Jay, Jim said maybe this is an experiment. And all these kinds of things. When a major character brings it up, I'm like, I don't know. Dale brought up pocket universes, and he's a minor character. So I thought, well, that could be a sneaky way to slip in the truth. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's really hard to know. Well, the next scene is more character building again. It's with Victor and Henry. So it's not necessarily anything that's answers. I enjoy the scenes with Victor and Henry though, and I think that yeah, Karen's saying those are allusions to lost theories too. Yeah, it just better not be purgatory or they're dead. I think that's what everybody thinks. Don't go there. I
Right.
don't think
Oh,
it will
God.
be, but
Please no.
yeah, because that's what people constantly said about Lost. I know I forgot you're watching, you're not done with it yet, but that's just what people said through the whole thing. And people didn't even understand the ending anyway. So, yeah, a lot of people did.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
anyway, I was going to say, I enjoy that Henry is trying to spend time with Victor and he's kind of like going with him whether he really wants it or not.
Yeah.
He missed the time, and I think that it's nice he's trying to make up for it. And Victor seems to be like slowly, I guess, letting him in. I guess would be the best way to say that.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's nice, like he's just not used to having family around. His dad wanted to go with him on his trip to the cave, and he walks up to Victor and touches Victor's arm, and Victor just looks down at it like he's not used to this. Like, he lost his mother at a young age. He was ripped away from his father, so it's nice to see them bonding and spending time together. It's touching. I like that. I really love Henry. I think he's a great addition to the show. Really immediately, I immediately connected with him emotionally, and he delivers great performances.
Yeah. I agree. I think Robert Joy and Scott McCord do a really good job, and I really believe them when they're in the scenes together.
Oh, they're both amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm I mean, he doesn't want his father to go because it's dangerous. He's worried about his father too, which is interesting. But I think his father just doesn't want to, let anything happen to him. Obviously.
Right. He's always trying to protect people. That's why he was telling people not to look for answers. Not to go out looking for answers, because people who do don't come back. He would always say that. So yeah, he just doesn't want anything to happen to the people he cares about. So I
Yeah.
understood that. He wasn't trying to be a jerk. Like, he doesn't want him to come with
No,
him.
no, yeah, he definitely doesn't. I did want to ask you something though. This is completely not related to this, but it's making me think about it. Last week, when Henry asked about the hotel and it was kind of brushed off, Ethan didn't really answer him. I'm sure you've heard the idea that in the flashbacks, the hotel sign says, well, Star Magic, I think is what it says, that isn't
Yes.
there. I don't know that the sign being missing necessarily means anything, because it could have just within 40 years disintegrated, fell down, something. But I don't know. What do you think about that, and about the fact that there is no motel? I mean, do you think that that's anything relevant? Is it just to be funny? Because it does seem weird that, like, there's certain things in the town they're not even using for what they're supposed to. Like the school is, I think the school is the clinic, right?
Yes, it is.
I mean, some people have said that they think Colony House was the hotel, but when you look at the map, like, from what I've gathered, the majority of the people think it doesn't fit, that it could have been the hotel because of where the pool and everything was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the gas station is a bar, the school is a clinic, the post office is a sheriff's station. It's all it's all like weird. Nothing is what it's supposed to be. But um I don't I'm I don't know. I am curious about why it seems like they really want us to notice that motel sign, which is now missing the Star Magic part of the motel. And so I was like, what is this about? A lot of people are starting to theorize that this hotel has something to do with all of this in some way, but I don't know. I just don't really see how, like, I don't know. This hotel, like, what could
I
this
don't
have to
know.
do?
So many things on this show. It feels like they don't do anything unless there's a reason. But other times, I think they're just little things that have nothing to do with anything. And I think people read into them maybe too much. But sometimes
Yep.
I wonder if they put things in there just to make us do this because they think it's funny. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, 100%. I think that this is basically the season of trolling us. This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
I have never
Um,
seen so many shout outs to fan theories on this
It
show.
definitely does seem to be, doesn't it?
It seems
Karen
like it.
Karen was saying they don't need a school because all they have is Ethan, which is totally true, but that hasn't been a school for a long time. I'm just more of the idea that they have some buildings that are something completely different. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, Red Candy says some things from previous season has been completely dumped, like Tabitha retration, where electricity is coming from. Jim received a sinister radio response.
Yep.
Something's underneath the town. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some of it is they can't answer everything right away, but it does sometimes feel like they've dropped certain things, and I do hope they pick them back up. Um,
Mhm.
I think the thing with the electricity was something that I was like really, I don't know, into figuring out before, because that was when I had the theory, and I think other people did too, that maybe somehow it was being created in Victor's mind, because I always looked at it as a child, especially, I mean, he's not a child now, but he grew up there. He didn't learn things, and like he may not have ever known how electricity worked. So to me, it not being the correct way may have been just, well, he knew wires went in the wall, he didn't know what it actually did. Which could also, people have theorized, fit with the idea that maybe it's some kind of video game or whatever, it doesn't need full electricity. But I don't know. I hope they go back to it. I think the radio thing, the warning was probably important, but I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. I hope they come back to it.
Yeah, the radio thing, I think they have to eventually come back to it. I don't think it's an actual human talking to them, because it doesn't really make sense
with the town anyway. Yeah,
I think it's just another matter of like a strange voice, that like the voice on the phone this season. It's there's going to be an explanation for the voices coming from different places.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. She's saying about what I was saying about Victor reflects a child's drawing or vision. Yeah, that's kind of like what I just said. Yeah, it does. But I mean, I don't think that's possible now, that it can be from Victor just because his mother, dreamed about the town before she went there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it couldn't have come from, some other kid though. I don't know. I just kind of, broke that theory a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just don't see how that could work now. But I mean, if that wasn't the case about his mother seeing the town, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see how this could all be dreamed up by Victor. I don't know. I would hope not. I would rather see a different explanation. Like, we're so invested in all these characters and their journey.
Something real.
Yeah.
Not just. Yeah, I kind of get that. Like the same thing with the video game theory. Like, it makes a lot of sense, and there's a lot of things that fit that theory. And I know a lot of people do think that, and a lot of people in Discord have been talking about that, think that. But I kind of don't want it to be that either. Like, as much as that's cool, like even a whole like cabin in the woods type thing. I know there's been this image floating around. If anybody sees this image of a guy sitting in front of screen showing Fromville, it is not real. Somebody photoshopped a scene from Cabin in the Woods. I think like that's, kind of a cool theory, but it's been done before. And if it is the case, then like you said, it's not real. And I don't know that I don't want it to be real, because I don't know. It should be something real. Let's see what else. Oh, I did not come up with this, and I don't know that it's the case, but this is again people pulling little teeny tiny details. But last night in the other Discord that I was in while they were streaming it, and I don't remember who said it, so whoever said it, I'm not trying to steal your theory, but whenever Victor was met, like I think it was Victor rather than Henry, but whenever he was like messing with the wheel on the car, and he said something like it would make the kids smile. People started bringing up that maybe it was a reference to Smiley. I don't know. That to me was a little reaching. I mean, it's funny if it was a reference, but I don't know that it needed to be, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was funny though, but I kind of don't think it had to do with that. There's kind of a couple quick scenes after that aren't really a lot of anything, like Kenny bringing Marielle the supplies. Kenny doesn't want to talk to Boyd. I guess we could talk about that. Do you think he'll eventually kind of, I don't want to necessarily say forgive Boyd, but be ready to talk to Boyd again?
Yeah, I think, you mean Kenny? Were you talking about Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny talking to Boyd.
Sorry. Yeah, I feel like that there's already been a lot of healing there. I think like right now he just doesn't want to talk about the loss of his mom, and I'm glad to see that the relationship though between Kenny and Boyd has improved so much from season 2 when they had their falling out, and it's nice to see because Kenny needs some support, and now he's lost both of his parents, and he can't lean on Christy too much. She's got her fiance, and so I think that their relationship is really, it's maybe not 100% back to where it was, but close. And right now, though, I think he's just, I understood exactly why he acted that way. It's a lot of times you just like, you don't want to talk about someone you've just lost. You just want to block it out. It
doesn't mean he's mad. He just doesn't want to deal with it right now.
It's a defense mechanism, like,
yeah,
yeah.
And it will last about a week at Quality House, Karen said. I don't think that's gonna.
It's not going to be a good fit.
Will be annoyed at everybody. I don't. Yeah, it's not exactly his scene. I don't think
it's not.
It's really not. Just a reminder to people, because some of you came in later, you can join our panel. I've posted the StreamYard link in YouTube. It's pinned. I did it right. The one thing I did right tonight. So if anybody wants to, vocally join our discussion rather than just posting comments, feel free to jump in and we will add you to the stage. If not, you can continue to talk with us in the comments. That's cool too. But yeah, well, let's keep going. And when we get down to the episode 2, we can start talking about theories if we run out. But let's see, what else do I have? Okay, boy, that's the outside stuff. All that was that. I had written down here, this is when he goes into the clinic that Randall's moaning and he just kind of stands there and doesn't go in. Yeah. I keep saying this. I've said this on our show before, and I said this to AJ, who plays Randall, when he was on there. I asked him about this. I don't know why, but I just keep thinking Boyd needs to talk to him, but he needs to just be like, yeah, I chose to try to save them. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. But I feel like he needs to own up that he made that choice and not act like he was trying to save everybody, because I just keep thinking, like, I feel like Randall would appreciate it more, and that maybe he wouldn't be so pissed at him if he would just be like, come to him and be like, yeah, that happened. I did that. I recognize I did that, and that it didn't work out well for you, but I was trying to save them. I don't know. That's just kind of how I've felt since the beginning. That was, I felt from the very beginning, every time Boyd walks in there, I think that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, we get somebody. Let's see. Totally rad. Let me add you here to the stage. Hello. Kimono's ladies photo bomb. Hello.
Hey. It's my friend here. Hey. This is she co-hosts with me on my live streams. Yeah, she's the co-host with the most here.
Yeah. Oh geez. Yeah, forget sorry, just to add to this, talking about the link in the chat. Yeah, that's why now I'm just saying to people, go to the YouTube and click the live tab, because the whole episode, you missed the beginning when I tried to go on and it didn't work. I screwed up the whole thing. I'm sure Karen isn't surprised, but she missed it. I tried to press live, and I'm stupid and did not realize that you had to physically put down on the countdown. That AJ's been doing it every week, and I didn't know that. And it didn't start. So I thought something was wrong, and I tried to end the stream, and I didn't know you couldn't go back to it. So the link we had before doesn't work. But if you can always get here live. So, but anyway, thank you for coming.
Oh, sure. Hopefully it won't go out. I just was on a live and it just went out in 10 minutes. So maybe I've got 10 minutes.
All right, cool. I was trying to see. I don't know if any of the pictures we have match yet. The ones I happened to download weren't the ones that we're talking about yet. But I don't know that we necessarily need them.
I kind of like your background picture. Where's your background picture from?
Oh, thank you. It's a AI/Photoshop artwork I made for the channel way back when we started using video and slides. But thanks, yeah. Whoa, I lost the comments there. Let's see. Red Candy says it's great to see the cicada victims had a touch base. Yeah, that's one thing I also don't want them to drop, is what happened to the three of them, and they seem to all be sort of talking about it a little bit. Marielle, not so much. She's just kind of, I think, suppressing it, I guess.
Yep.
Where Randall's obviously still having issues with it. Julie's getting high to get,
yeah,
stop issues. So, yeah. But yeah, at least they're bringing it back. I mean, we don't know if they're going to solve it or not, but at least it's there. So yeah. Well, I'm sorry, what's your name? Your actual name, so I don't call you Totally Rad, or is that what you usually go by?
I'm totally rad. No, you can
Okay,
call me
no,
Scarlet,
that's fine. I
guess.
just thought maybe you wanted me to call you by your name. Okay.
That's
Do you
cool.
have any
You can call whatever
comments
you want.
Do you have any comments to add on the stuff we've went over so far before we move further?
I haven't seen anything because I was on Cyber Queen Media's live for a second. What are you talking about?
No, I just meant that happened before. Where were we at in the episode? I already forgot where we were at. I guess where Randall was, where Broyd goes into the clinic. You might not know where that was in the episode. I just meant if
I know where that was. I was like, why is he going there? Was my first thought.
Yeah, I know.
Let Randall heal up. He's just going to antagonize Randall, so Randall gets stressed and probably won't heal correctly.
It's not going to help.
Yeah, it's not going to help.
Yeah, I definitely don't think
it's a guilt thing.
Randall wants to talk to
him,
but yeah,
you're totally right on that.
Yeah. So let's see. Christy tells him about the ultrasound. You know, I kind of feel like the ultrasound is like, yeah, of course there's an ultrasound. Like that was a little, I mean, I get it. They wanted to bring an ultrasound, but it just kind of was like not super surprising. You get an ambulance and now, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Were you glad there was an ultrasound? I guess now we get an actual answer that not an actual answer. We get an answer that's not, it's not exactly an answer. We get an answer that there's either nothing there or there's something there they can't see or Fatima's insane. Those are the three choices. I don't know if one's better than the other. But yeah.
Or she had something and it just went into her cells, like it impregnated her cells instead of her womb.
Yeah, something. Let's see. Sorry, I'm scanning through my recap here to see. Oh, okay, yeah, this actually is about Fatima and Ellis, that he's trying to convince her to go get the actual. Well, no, at that point, I don't think they know about the ultrasound, but he's trying to get her to go to Christy.
Right.
She doesn't necessarily want to. Now, this is the question I posed on Twitter because it's just something stupid that's irritating me. But do you think that Fatima told him about the blood or just the food, the rotten food? Because they have not said one way or another. And I feel like he's not freaked out enough for her to have said, oh, yeah, I dug blood out of that Nikki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he wouldn't have gotten there. She wouldn't have gotten there. I think he was already freaking out because of rotten vegetables.
Yeah, she probably doesn't want to tell him after that. But at least he's finally trying to, because she's like, it'll just go away on its own. No, I don't think it'll go away on its own.
Yeah.
Karen agrees she didn't. Says they're saying they freak him out more later. Yeah, maybe he'll just be freaked out more later. So Boyd comes in and they go through the whole conversation, and at the very end he tells them about the ultrasound, and I'm thinking, like, why didn't he say that when he first came in the room? He should have led with that.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
That whole conversation, but she finally agrees, at least, so that's something. I like the idea that she's like, are you coming with us? I think that she thinks of him like a father now. I appreciated that. And no, we have somebody else new that joined. Thank you everybody for joining. We appreciate it. Well, you will not be able to comment after going live. Nothing has been created on Facebook. Well, that's odd. I've never had that happen. Something else new in StreamYard today. Oh well. I think they should have done the ultrasound at night. Ooh, that's a good, I had not even thought about that. That's actually very interesting. What do you guys think? Do you think it would have looked different?
What would have looked different?
If they did the ultrasound at night.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I said. I had not thought about that. That's
Monster Baby comes out at night.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But that's actually
Monster Baby sleeping during day.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. That's why I know somebody, I think it was on Twitter, somebody said that just like they should use the camera on the creatures and see what it does. There's a lot of interesting different things they could try as they get more, I don't know if you call camera tech, but you know what I mean. Red Candy says you're what you said is brilliant. So there you go. They agree with it too. Let's see.
Yeah, I think Eldon's wasting that Polaroid film.
Yeah. Well, but now we saw something. So yeah, I don't know. We don't know who Kimono Lady is yet. I guess we'll find out, but I'm assuming it has something to do with Fatima since it was in her picture. We can assume.
Yeah.
It'll bring it back to those people who think that the Kimono Lady is Fatima.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people do think that. I don't think it looks that much like her, but I think people maybe originally thought that because like they both had a similar kimono, although it wasn't the same, but people were comparing pictures. Let's see. The One True Whitney says, I do think Kimono Lady is a personification of whatever was talking to Sarah. Yeah, it might be. I mean, I don't know how long it's taking to find out, but she's got something going on.
We'll see if she says, help us by killing this person.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe she'll just want to kill whatever's in her, but I kind of would not necessarily think that if there's something there. Karen, do you think there I go, not being able to talk again. Kimono Lady is helpful like Tom or Kotri or menacing like Tabitha and Jade's scary visions? Yeah, I think she's kind of scary. I wouldn't trust her. I mean, I think it's more, I would say it's more like Sarah, like we're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just saying, yeah, I question, and I was going to get into this more once we got to the whole thing about when he's talking to, I keep forgetting the word bartender. I was laughing earlier. The bartender, when he's talking to him, that people have these visions and they seem to be different. And for some people, maybe they're their inner monologue. For other people, maybe they're being manifested. Are some of them different different parts of the town that's manifesting? Are they good? Are they bad? I think that some of them it's different. I don't think we know enough yet, but I think some of them it's different. Let's see.
Yeah, I
don't. Guys, if you have anything to jump in, please do. I'm just trying to kind of look at the recap, so we're going in somewhat of an order. And as I mentioned, we're getting more people finally of live. You guys, if you want to, join us and talk to us out loud live, if I can talk, the link in the link for StreamYard's in the chat, so you can join us.
Oh, and Whitney's here. Hey, Whitney. Yeah, she's awesome. She's been on my panel before. She's terrific.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming, Whitney. Thank you for coming, everybody, especially for bearing with me after I screwed up everything. Maybe they're hallucinating properties in the new veggies. That's true. Yeah, maybe she'll start seeing things. We don't know. Oh, and the new veggies. I thought she meant in the rotten veggies. Yeah, in the new veg, there could be.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought about that. And you get new theories and new ideas as you do this. It's nice when different people say things you've never heard, and then you think of new things. So let's see, what was Donna? Okay, the next thing was okay. I guess they don't go out yet. That we aren't quite to the camera yet. Yeah, the Fletcher. Yeah,
I screwed up too. I shared the wrong link to a different video. So that was my bad. After you fixed it and you sent me the new link, I accidentally sent a link to one of your other upcoming lives.
That's okay. So I said from now on, I will always link just to YouTube. And I just feel bad because, like I said, that is the first time I've ever not just linked to YouTube, because I was trying to do some of what you do, because you seem to know more what you're doing with regards to YouTube. And I noticed, you're doing the episode. So that's why I did that. I won't do that again. No offense, but I won't do it again. But hi, Fletcher. I'll take everything after watching. Yeah.
Glad you can make it, Fletcher the Cromanacle. Another great member of the family here.
Yes.
And what Karen was saying before, though, yeah, I definitely don't trust Kimono Lady, and honestly, I don't trust Ghost Kotri. I'm starting to wonder about Ghost Tom, though, but I'm sure we'll get to that when we get to that point in the episode. Yeah. I'll have a comment on that, but it's difficult to see, like, which of these entities could be helpful, which of them could be threats. Initially,
all the same.
they're playing with us, like the kimono lady seemed terrifying in season 2. She seemed terrifying again at first. Then we were like, okay, she doesn't seem menacing. She's just putting her hands on Elgin's face. Then she was saying, help me, please, in the next one. But now I'm back to thinking, okay, I thought back to season 2. Victor actually said right after he met Elgin, and he didn't know anything about Elgin yet, but he said, I don't trust him. So I think he remembers something from his previous time in the town. Someone must have filled Elgin's role, because I believe in this thing where people fill the roles of people in past cycles.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that are cyclical with it.
So that's why I think the kimono lady is not good. Like, I already thought that before episode 6, because I was thinking, okay, Elgin's going to trick Elgin into doing something that's going to cause harm, like kind of like Sarah did. Yeah.
Yeah. Whitney says it's manipulative. She's a manipulative succubus of the First Order. Yeah, could be. Let's see. Red Candy says time for Ethan to be interesting again with his chromonacle story correlation. Yeah, Ethan can get annoying. I sometimes think though that Ethan is written to be an annoying little kid. I mean, maybe sometimes more than he should be.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ethan said that he enjoyed the times more when they were frightened so they wouldn't be angry, and that's very telling.
Yeah. Well, I get it. I mean, I kind of understand it. He doesn't know how to deal with what's going on, Let's see, what else we got? Whitney. Anyone else hoping Jasper's voice turns out to be the same as Slappy from Goosebumps? No.
I'm
just gonna say no.
I was hoping Kenny's mom would invade Jasper now.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if the ghosts ghosts and dead people could come back as in him? Although that would be terrifying as well.
It would be.
It would still be cool. Okay, let's see. Fletcher says Tabby was wrong for listening to the entities, but we take advice from dead ones. Yeah, that's again. It's like which ones? Why are we trusting? And we'll get into this when we get to the Jade part, because I actually asked David this when I talked to him the other day. Why are they listening to some of them and not others? Like, there's got to be a reason why some of them they seem to trust and other ones they don't. Let's see. Aaron says,
I like Fletcher's comment about young Tabitha and Fromland, like it's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I clicked on that one yet.
I thought she looked Little Red Riding Hood, but Little Red Riding Hood is more my idea, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, I think the dining room kind of reminded some people of Alice in Wonderland, the way it was set up in the cave. So that's a good point. Karen says she's working up this theory that some of them are candidates of the Lost, and Elgin could be one. Yeah, we were having a discussion too of like it could be like Lost, where maybe some of them are important and the rest of them are just kind of along for the ride. Yeah, I mean, not that this is. A lot of people are like, they don't want it to be like Lost. It's not, people seem to think all the writers are on Lost. There's a couple people that cross over, but not the majority of them. Oh, there she goes. She came back. Let's see. Whoa. You guys are going fast. Sorry. I'm trying to get everybody's kind of seeing. Okay. Karen thinks Ethan's going to solve the bottle tree. Maybe. Jade's getting his help there. Okay. Whitney says, I truly feel the beloved character we lose is that goat. Well, yeah, I mean, it was beloved Ethan. You're right. Oh, I didn't like when they were going after the goat. I don't like animals getting killed. That's my triggers. I don't like that.
Me too.
Okay.
I was upset when they killed the cow. I didn't like.
I was too. Yeah, it was just a cow, and I agree. I still didn't like that either. Do you think it was just Tabitha's dream, or was it a memory that Victor can't separate what's dream and what's memory? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
or it's like Miranda and she just had
I'm being sarcastic. I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, we know it's clearly connected to Miranda. We know that. But beyond that, we don't really know yet. Let's see. Be more scared of a talking dummy than the monsters. Yeah, a lot of people don't like ventriloquistal. That thing is creepy. Let's see. Fletcher says young Tabitha's closing felt like it was in the same timeline as the skull drinking guy that shows up on Jade. I'll be totally honest, I do not remember what she was dressed in. So I can't answer that. Does anybody remember specifically?
It better not be like Tabby's vision knocking on the cabins when people are staying there overnight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, I want them to go back to whatever's at the cabin, but they haven't yet. So, okay, let's see.
They will. I'm sure they will. But after that flashback at the end, there's clearly some kind of thing, this entity out there. I'm hoping for a new entity out near the cabins. There's something swooped down at young Tabitha, that thing at the end.
Yeah, they didn't. We just saw it from her point of view, so it's hard to tell. And I think she was supposed to have woken up when that happened. I took it as, so I don't know that she saw it either. I don't know. Let's see. Whitney says maybe it's an astral projection. That's a possibility. Do you think Tabby was hiding from okay, that's about the cabins. What was she hiding? What was near the cabins? That's what we just said. And Fletcher thinks it's Tabby's memory. Could definitely be. Sorry, I'm just not clicking on quite all of them because I'm trying to go through all the comments. There are toys in a tea set in the cave as if children. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe the Ankui kids were there. I definitely did, and I know other people got an Alice in Wonderland vibe from the way they had it set up. I mean, a very creepy one, but let's see. And Karen says, I think it takes a child, Ethan, to unravel Victor's man-child trauma. Yeah, well, that's why. I mean, that's why he's friends with Ethan. But I think they get along good together, and I think they're good for each other in different ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're like the same mentality. Victor's kind of frozen in the same state of mind that Ethan was, and yeah.
He's been there for 40 years with, not a lot of, well, I mean, eventually there was people to talk to, but he was there for a lot of years by himself. So, it's understandable.
Arrested Development. Yeah. And that was those were such Alice in Wonderland vibes too. I loved that. It was like a Mad Hatter tea party down there. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. With the dummy at the head of the table,
Yeah.
which made it more creepy.
That was great.
I don't want that thing to scream again. We were having this discussion in Discord last night. I don't want to see that thing scream again. It does jump every time it does.
I love it. I love the dummy.
I love the dummy trope.
Maybe if Jade sees it. It only really happens at Jade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jade. Yeah. Let's see. And again, if anybody, wants to join our conversation, feel free to click the link in YouTube. I'm just repeating it because I know I can see people are coming in and out. So, let's see. Next is, and again, like I said, if I go past something you want to go back to, just tell me. I'm just doing it to try to keep us somewhat organized. Oh wait, we have more comments. Oh, I didn't have it scrolled all the way. Sorry about that. Let's see. When it comes to Victor's memory, maybe the town is using its power to suppress his memories. Maybe. I don't know. The town could be doing a lot of things, I feel like, that we don't know about,
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know. And Karen's saying, does the clothes matter if it's a dream? Yeah, it might not. That's hard to tell. Oh, she was hiding from the smoke monster. Yes, I agree with that. I think that's what it is. Now, Whitney's saying about a giant spider. I want to make a comment here because I was trying to find this out, and I'm hoping at some point we do find out this. This is outside of the show. But because I'd put it on Facebook so people could see it because I know they were talking about it. When I had talked to Harold Perrineau earlier in the season at the round table, I was asking him about some of the dark scenes. And he was saying that there's something in episode 6 that's his phobia and that really scared him doing. And nobody can figure out for sure what he was talking about or if he mixed up episodes maybe, which is a possibility. Because I don't know what it would be in this one that would be hard to film. The only thing I can think is that maybe he meant 5 and that with Dale getting in the pool, like if he's afraid of suffocation or something. I don't know. I want to know.
Maybe he's afraid. Maybe he's afraid of being walled up in a wall like a Poe story, like Dale.
Yeah. I don't know. That scene was freaky though. I mean, I didn't like Dale, but I did find it freaky.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Jasper waiting for Victor in a tunnels for a tea party was funny. Yes. Let's see. Okay. Henry said towards Victor after he left the tunnels, its voice when talking about Donna's sister's monster identical face. Okay, wait. I'm confused by that comment. Do you guys know what he's talking about? Henry said towards Victor after he left the tunnels. Its voice when talking about.
Oh, wait a minute.
The sister monster.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
call it the shopping mom monster because she looks like a shopping mom.
I know what that part's referring to. I've seen this thing that it showed like the picture of Donna and her sister. It showed it took the image of her sister's face and it put it right next
and put a headband on it. Okay,
and it says that she looks very similar, and she does look similar.
The one that was in the cave. Okay, that made more sense. I couldn't figure out what that meant. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're the same, but that's my opinion.
I don't know, but I do want to know why she let him go, though. Okay, anyone know where I can find the so-called leaks? Yeah, we can't really give you leaks. I can't be a part of that because I'm not, because I can't give out spoilers since I'm a journalist. Fletcher's asking about leaks, so I can't help you there. Sorry.
No.
Cannot help you there. Okay, yeah, I was certain Karen was certain Jasper was going to scream. I kind of wondered, okay, how did Victor never hear about the internet until Ethan? Why would that's a good point. Wouldn't somebody have brought it up within the past 6 years? Yeah, you would think, but I don't know. Would they have a reason? I mean, I feel like they'd have to have a reason to bring it up, though.
Nobody really talks to Victor. Everybody kind of thinks he's a freak. Doesn't talk to him for some reason.
Yeah, it might also just be how we don't see everything, so it's hard to know.
Yeah.
He's very isolated. Yeah, nobody interacts with him much.
Yeah, okay, that's what he did. He was just answering that. Phobia, ventriloquist dummies. It's possible. It's just the way he said it, and I'd have to get the quote out, but he was talking about it being hard to film. He wasn't even in that scene, so that's why I didn't suggest the ventriloquist. But I don't know. I guess it could be. Is anybody shipping Jade with Tabitha?
Oh yeah,
maybe. I think Jade might be gay though. We don't really know because we've had this discussion before.
Yep.
Because it kind of sounded like maybe Toby was his boyfriend. I don't know. They never said, and he talked about trying on girls or dresses or something in that one episode. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he used to play dress up as a kid, and
which doesn't necessarily mean that, but it could mean that.
It could mean that. It could.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought to ship them, but I mean, yeah, I guess if they got rid of Jim, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I've never heard that. So there's a shipper name. Let's see. Trade. Okay, that's Beers. Yes, thank you. Let's see. Just being sarcastic about the monster with the identical. Okay, and phobia of an ultrasound. I don't know about that, Karen.
Yeah, I thought babies.
Yeah, maybe. Felt that Henry felt that monster's voice was familiar because he was talking. Oh, okay. I see what he's saying when they were talking after in the truck about the monster talking. Yeah, I don't know. I really didn't think much about that statement, but I guess there could be more to it. But Henry doesn't really know many people there, so I don't know that he would necessarily know, even if it was somebody like that we've seen before. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. The voice, I'm not sure. I don't know, but like, I do see a resemblance between the sister and that monster. I see it, but I don't. And we know that Donna said her sister's face got ripped off, but I don't think they literally took her face and put it on a monster. I think the monsters have some kind of glamour to look the way they do.
Maybe she's grown up Eloise monster.
Yeah, maybe.
Nobody can be in this show. It's hard to tell. The next thing was with Donna covering Dale, with the rocks, and Tabitha coming up. I feel like I more laugh about that scene. I mean, it was a good scene and it was emotional, but at the same time, I laugh about it because it's like everybody is telling Tabitha and telling Jim, because nobody listens, go home and be with your damn kids. That's what I get out of that.
They keep wandering around. It's like, be with your children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's putting rocks in front of it. With that, I mean, it would still, kind of decompose. I don't know how well it'll work. I guess it would work.
It's gonna stink.
Yeah. I don't see how that's
I don't know. It would be really bad and kind of, I don't want to say funny. It's not really funny, but what if like the monsters at night move the rocks? You can tell it's late. I'm having weird comments. Let's see. Karen loved that scene. Whitney says, I think they're setting up for Kenny to leave the colony house if Dawn is killed off. That's a good point. That could happen. I don't know. We were saying earlier, I think it was before Whitney came in when we were saying we didn't think he'd last very long because that's not really his scene. Let's see. Love Donna building a wall while her own walls are crumbling. Yeah, that's true. Donna seems to be breaking some. Do you guys feel like that? I feel like every time something happens, she used to be like not get upset about things. And not that she doesn't have a right to get upset, but she's been
Yeah, she's been, I think she's getting more and more strung out. Like we saw it started with the Colony House Massacre in season 1, and I think they've done a good job of showing her just kind of being pushed further to her breaking point. And now she's sobbing. Like we never saw anything like that this season. So
yeah. I liked when Tabitha gave her a hug though. I think she needed that. That was cute. I liked that.
That was nice. Yeah, she looked uncomfortable with it, but like she accepted it. Like she's used to being tough. She doesn't want to accept comfort and sympathy normally, especially out in public like that. She hugged Boyd when they were alone, but she's got to maintain her image of toughness. She's out in the middle of town right now.
Yeah, definitely. But that was nice. So I guess that's a good point though to mention for anybody who does not know yet. Elizabeth Saunders, who plays Donna, is going to be on our show on November 26th live.
Nice.
So make sure you guys come. We're trying to move the time because I know Julie was explaining to me. I did not know that we overlapped with another show, so we're trying to get her a little earlier. But it will either be at 9 or 10 p.m. But it's on November 26th, and I'll post on Twitter when we confirm the time. Okay, Fletcher's saying Acosta wasn't in the episode. Neither was Sarah. I think they just have such a big ensemble cast. It's hard to put everybody in. This is where I like everybody, but I kind of want to say sometimes that maybe if they killed some people, it would make it better because it's just getting so big. It's like you're watching the episode and like you want to see more of one thing and they keep flipping to everybody else because there's so many different people. So
well, some people could have gone to the cabin with Jim.
Yeah, I don't know. That's true. They did say something about that, but I don't know that they'd take Sarah. I don't think anybody wants to hang out with Sarah. Acosta, yeah.
She's the scariest person in town.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Only Victor. I like, though, that Victor's hanging out with her because, I don't know, it just makes sense.
They could have her pick up the vibes of Cannibal Village and see what's going on, see if she feels anything.
Yeah. Of what? I'm sorry, of Cannibal what?
Cannibal Village.
Oh, you're calling, okay, Cannibal Village, yeah. I didn't know that's what you were calling that place. Yeah, I
picks up vibes.
I want to know what the hell's going on with the cabin. They haven't gone back to it. They need to. Let's see. Fatima's been a little bit in a bad mood. I wouldn't like to be Tilly. Yeah, Fatima has been being crabby, although I don't really blame her. Okay, what about on Randall moving into the clinic? What do we think about that? I think it was nice that Mario offered him to move in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really nice. She was too nice almost.
She was too nice. He was being such a jerk to her.
I was just going to say, she's the first one who offered him anything nice, and he was being such a jerk. But that's Randall for you.
But look, towards the end of the scene, he looked like he was almost going to cheer up, though. The look on his face.
It did, yeah. His attitude changed. It did, and it should.
At the end of the scene. He kind of looks up and over, and it looks like he's got almost got a tear in his eye, for kindness.
Yeah. Well, nobody's been kind to him, but I mean, to be fair, he hasn't necessarily deserved people's kindness.
No.
So yeah. Let's see. Red Candy says Jade was right about differentiating a wormhole to a dimensional rift. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier when we were talking about the different ideas. I was talking about things being in the same space. Yeah, I definitely think it could be something to do with one of those things, though. I mean, it makes sense. I think it's very interesting, and I want to hear more about the scientific stuff. I want to know more about that.
Me too.
About the pocket universes and everything else, right?
I don't know those things. I don't know the difference between a wormhole or a dimensional rift, but I was just excited to hear him bringing up those terms. It just sounds like
he said something like it's wormholes are ripping spacers. I forget exactly what he said, but he started to explain it, and then Boyd shut him up. I think it's time for the writers to bring Randall into the fold. Angry loner guys played out. They're more interesting things. Yeah, I think he needs more to do. I agree with that. But I think it's kind of, I think it was mean they left him on the bus, but I also kind of wonder why he didn't try to leave the bus. I guess he was too stubborn to ask to leave the bus, too.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about the awful work of, oh my God, so many, I'm assuming what Fletcher means, and you'll have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I kept seeing all these comments, why didn't she stitch his neck? I don't know if that's what he means or not. But yeah.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have a lot. They don't have a lot.
Yeah, I know. The stitching on his face, though, did look pretty gory, but I mean, they got to do something. He had his whole face ripped off. They have to put it back together somehow, you know. The settlement where they get food is somewhat Nordic tribes where Jay saw a man drinking from the Gold Dome, the French soldier. Yeah, I don't know. I question though, do you think it's that place that made Jay see those things necessarily? Or do you think it's just, I don't know. Do you guys think it's the place that made him see them?
I thought it was because he destroyed sacred ground by urinating on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Which made him see the guy in the tree, and then he pulled apart that, like, what I would call a crucible that was holding some kind of spirit together, like a rune, and broke that, and that's how he saw the skull guy drinking blood. He kind of released it, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I just wish they'd go back and do more at the cabin. I'm going to keep saying that, because I wish they would.
I wish he just put that thing back together. They need to put that crucible thing back together.
Yeah, the statue thing. Although,
totems, yeah.
I'm just going to say, though, the totems, whatever the totems did can't be what brought out whatever's around the cabins, because Jim and Kenny heard it the first night before they destroyed that. So, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't do other things, but it can't be what stopped.
Well, I think the skull guy. I think the skull guy is one thing, and I think the entity outside the cabin's another.
Yeah, I think there's so many different entities on here. I want to know which ones are the same. Melrose Place with Kimberly, he had the same stitching. I don't know because I didn't watch Melrose Place. So
Yellow Jackets. You watch Yellow Jackets?
I've seen part of Yellow Jackets. I need to go back to it. I never finished it. I need to.
Van has a similar scar, but I won't do any spoilers. But she has a very similar scar to Randall's.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of people were watching that. I do want to watch it. In the dream Tabitha had. Ooh, I don't know. It's another one of those things we need to go back and
rewatch.
Yes, definitely rewatch. Maybe the cabins weren't for living. Maybe they're burial tombs, so the monsters could not get to them. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, to put the bodies in. Well, I think they would have maybe found bodies in the cabins, though, if that was the case. But I don't know.
I thought they had low ceilings so they keep the heat in. Because a lot of older cabins are smaller, so they keep the heat in when you put fire, in it. Yeah, you wouldn't want to put a body in something warm, though. It would make it stink. But yeah, I don't know. No, I thought they meant just living in the cabins. Not putting bodies in the cabins. No, I was just going by what Whitney said there. Let's see. And Karen's saying, she's not a plastic surgeon. That's definitely true. Let me see. Damn it, Jim. Jim, a pediatric nurse, not a surgeon. Oh, I did. We did. No, we were jumping ahead with that. That's why I was going to say we didn't actually get to that part yet. I downloaded certain pictures that Julie had, and none of them we've gotten to yet. Are the yeah, I don't know if they're the same. He's asking if they're the same totems. Yeah, that's where I say it's got to be a rewatch because I haven't the slightest clue if they look the same or not.
They were different. I've looked really closely at those. Like, I'm obsessive about pictures. I take hundreds of screenshots per episode, so I can tell you 100%. Those were different totems. Definitely different totems.
That's interesting because she keeps saying it's the same place. Although, to be fair, we don't know when her dream takes place. Like, they could be different time or something, and maybe they're different for that reason. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I found that odd that they were different. Maybe. Yeah,
I didn't realize they were, but I didn't look close enough to know, I guess, because I didn't notice that. All right. Now we have we got more about the tunnels. We didn't quite finish the tunnels. And he uses the toy soldiers. You know, do you think that the toy soldiers had some kind of meaning? Because putting down little toys that are dark in the dark is not going to really help. I don't know what the point of that was, if there was a point.
Yeah.
Little green men.
Little green men.
Other than just say little green men.
Teen
I did
aliens.
wonder if that was supposed to make us think it was aliens or something.
I feel like that was a little Easter egg shout out to the alien theory people. Like they're doing this a lot this season. Like little shout out.
Definitely could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they should have just used string like Jade did, to make sure they don't get lost. Just tie a string around the tree.
Yeah, that might have worked a little better.
It's hard to see in the dark too, so they might not
be
able to find it.
He's just a little kid in his mind, that's how he thinks, right? So
yeah, he doesn't know. But they go in the cave. Let's see. Then Ellis. Oh, that's when Ellis is trying to just kind of say maybe it's nothing bad and it's just the place affecting her pregnancy. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with the baby. Okay, see, we already sort of talked about that. We got out of order about that when he tells him about the ultrasound, because that's where I said that he should have said that at the beginning, because he waited till the end of that whole conversation to say that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Let's see. We already talked about Marielle stitching him. And again, if I skip something, or you want to go back, somebody does, just tell me. I'm just trying to sort of go through, make sure we don't forget anything. The scene with Julie and Kenny. I think that's the scene that the actress who plays Marielle was talking about, apparently, and I think it was on Instagram. She had said something about she really liked that scene, but I think she mixed up the episodes. I'm assuming that's what she was talking about. That was kind of a cute scene. He's like, would she say something like, don't tell anybody, and then he says something like, if you get caught, I wasn't here, or something.
Yeah, it was cute. That was cute.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Victor going into the, now I do have pictures of, of them going into, I guess this ain't quite the right place in the cave yet, but we might as well, we're starting to talk about the cave, so I'll put up that screenshot while we're talking. So why do you think the room was in a different place? Do you think Victor was just wrong? Do you think it moved?
Oh, it moved. See, this actually explains something for me that was bugging me. So this is how much I obsess over this show. It's ridiculous, but I was sure they were in the same spot when Jade had his vision of the Ankui kids at the end of season 2. There was nothing there. It was a big empty space. And I was like, okay, is that the same spot that Tabitha and Victor were in before? So I went back and looked, and I just watched the entire scene of Jade walking through the caves. I watched, and he didn't turn left or right. There was no fork in the path. He just went the same way that Tabitha and Victor had come out. So I was like, okay, well, where did all the stuff go? Because when they were down there was stuff everywhere. There were sleeping monsters, there was furniture, but when Jade was in that exact same spot, there was nothing there. And you could see it was the same spot. You see the 2 little Akui kid cages were there. So I'm thinking, okay, where did all the stuff go? And so now we have an explanation. The monsters moved it. You got the clock. You got all the stuff that's there. And the monsters are now sleeping in a different spot. And somebody brought up an interesting point last night when I was doing a watch party. They said, like, do you think it's possible that the monsters feel intimidated because they moved all their stuff and where they sleep, since some people were down there before? Like, are they vulnerable in some way? Like, why would they move all their stuff? Now they're hiding from the people while they're sleeping, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not sure about that.
Now, let me ask you this. You're saying they moved the stuff, though, not that the cave changed or anything, right?
No, I think the cave is the same. They moved their stuff. That stuff was not over there before. When Victor said that it moved, he was right. They definitely moved their stuff. So I'm not sure, like, maybe they do feel, I don't know, maybe I've been saying for a while, people should go down there and try to burn them up while they're sleeping. Maybe they did feel like a vulnerability and they hid from anyone else who might come down here. It's very odd. I'm not sure about this, why they did this.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what Kenny wanted to do, right? Burn everything.
Yeah.
Wow, we got a lot of people talking since we got there. Maybe Fatima wasn't pregnant. Yeah, could have been. We didn't really, I mean, pregnancy tests aren't always accurate.
Right.
Okay, this is more about the pregnancy. There's a yellow flower. What is there something I'm supposed to know about a yellow flower that I'm
yellow?
There's a lot of yellow in this show. Yellow.
There's a lot of yellow. I don't know about a yellow flower, but the man in yellow, the man in the
on the bottom of that bowl too is a really bold yellow as well.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Yellow. Yeah, there's yellow all over the show. Boyd's yellow shirts, Tian Shen's yellow house, the yellow lights in the diner. So I think there's a lot of color symbolism going on here.
Yeah, probably. Yep. Whitney says it's always madness or the entity. Maybe. Okay, I'm curious. Okay, this is somebody else. Hello, Rory. Thank you for coming. I'm curious on all of your thoughts on Jim and if you think he will die this season. I just think Jim's annoying. That's my answer.
I don't think he'll die. Jim will never die.
No, we'll never be.
We were saying earlier, I think that we didn't care if he did, but
yeah.
Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah, although I mean, there was that premonition dream Tabitha had where he was hanging upside down. So, I mean, maybe he'll be in some kind of peril. He's got to be at some point. I think that little bit of her dream, something's going to come of that. He won't be literally hanging in the lighthouse. I think it was more symbolic of him being in some kind of peril or something. So, but I don't
go back because I don't even remember that. So.
Yeah, he was hanging upside down. Like it was really jarring, actually.
It was in her dream.
Yeah, back in her premonition dream. Yeah.
Okay, the Whitney. Here's the thing about: do the monsters have a weakness, and maybe they can hurt them during the day? I think there's been a lot of talk, and a lot of people have kind of questioned: do they have to only come out at night? I mean, that's what we've seen, but we don't really know. I feel like. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a mind game that I think it's all a game. I think that they don't come out during the day because if they were out, if you think about it, if they were out prowling around 24/7, then people wouldn't have any motivation to stay in town and just be passive and not try to go out and venture into the woods. This big bad entity doesn't want people going out into the woods. I think that's why they have this whole scenario where the monsters only come out at night. Because if they were around all the time, again, people might run into the woods, and who knows what's out there. There could even be a way out through the woods. Clearly, something doesn't want people going out there. Like they got close to the lighthouse, and the boy in white told Sarah, "This place is angry now," and the storm was happening. So I think there's some reason they don't want people going into the woods. So yeah, that's I don't know. That's my theory on that. I think it's just a matter of it being a game.
Maybe. I know a lot of people are saying maybe they can leave at night and they don't try because of that. I still think that like people should take, well, see, it didn't work with Boyd when he took a 10, but I almost feel like somebody should take a talisman and go as far as they can, make a camp for the night, go as far, because like nobody's actually made it very far because of the whole talisman issue. But I guess if his tent got moved, we don't know how safe it is. So let's see. Karen's saying she's not sure every scene is accurate to begin with. So should we trust the original tunnel scenes as a reference point? I don't know. I don't really have an answer, yes or no to that.
Yeah.
I said earlier, I think they do things for a reason when they do things, but sometimes I think they do it just to mess with us. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of red herrings for sure. A lot.
Definitely. Why is Tabitha stopped with the helping the children? They're locked in the tower, not the lighthouse. I thought the tower, the lighthouse was the representation of the tower. Maybe I don't know, misunderstood that. But that's what I always thought.
Yeah, it's just that she never found them she was in the tower. I took that to mean the tower also, the lighthouse tower, and the children. But you know what's interesting though, like maybe that was the wrong tower. Maybe, I don't know, like there were no children there. Honestly, but they wouldn't even be alive anyway. So what is going on here? I'm not really sure. I don't think there are any live children for her to save anywhere at
I
all.
thought the tower was where Jade was. Isn't the tower where Jade is? Or saw the roots?
That's the cave.
Yeah, that was part of the cave. I think they just appeared to him. Yeah.
Because she definitely was in a lighthouse and not a tower.
Do you think, I don't know if I don't think this part's actually here because I think I'm going out of order, but do you think maybe that when they're, I'm curious why, okay, this female monster that's there, why she looks human and the other ones don't. I don't know if maybe they just can't do it while they're asleep, make themselves look human. Or it's just to make her look
maybe they're doing it to make a point. You know, when they try to make a point, like grandma with the keys, like, oh, sweetie, it doesn't work that way. You know, they try to be human. You know, it's more menacing to do it when they're human. They probably can't talk when they're monsters anyway. I don't think they can do anything except like shrill.
That's true.
It seems that way. That's a good point.
I don't know why they let him go though. I think that's probably more important. Is why did they let him go? Maybe they're just not ready to. Yeah. That's why I think sometimes that is the answer, to mess with them more. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, if that was Eloise, that'd be prime messing.
We'll take that off till we're ready for it. We don't have enough photos. Ellis comes. I don't want to try to mirror my thing, or I won't be able to look at my recap. Okay, so this is whenever Ellis comes out of Colony House. He's, Fatima's coming out, and it's whenever, I think this is whenever they take the picture. Yeah, when Elgin takes the picture. So do we have anything? We kind of touched on this earlier, but do we have anything else to say about the picture with the kimono woman and everything that you see in the back of the picture Elgin takes? I think we sort of talked about it, but is there anything else?
Yeah. I definitely, I think that this was, I felt a lot like Sarah, that situation, like we were talking about, and that her saying like, help me, I can help you, if you help me, I can help you save everyone or get out, or whatever it was that she said. And yeah, it definitely seems like she's going to try to manipulate him. So yeah, I don't think that she's a helpful entity at all. That felt menacing to me. And the thing with the picture was just, that was cool. I mean, I know we were all pretty much expecting it because it's such a trope. She appears behind someone in the picture.
Yeah, it was so cool.
But we thought it was Julie, though.
Huh?
We thought it would be Julie. And I also thought
when they were in the basement.
Yeah, when they went into Julie, I thought Julie would be appearing as a monster or something. The screaming in her head would be shown in the photo.
Oh, that's not what I thought. I just thought that I just thought the kimono lady would appear in some picture behind somebody. I didn't know which one or anything like that. And
one of the pictures would be messed up. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
I still think I don't know if it's relevant to anything at all, but I still wonder that that's the camera that took the picture of Victor and Christopher.
I think so too.
That's why I kept thinking it's got to be important.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Absolutely.
All right. We'll keep going. And again, if anybody else wants to join us to talk out loud, feel free to jump on StreamYard. The link's still in YouTube. Let's see. This is a good point that Whitney has. They should have used the drone to look around the forest. That actually would have been really smart.
Yeah, I know, right?
The drone's broken now, right?
I think it did get broken. Yeah, what a shame. I mean, they don't know much about this place. It would have been nice to get a view of what's out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
At least use their batteries while they have them, right? It would have been a good thing. There's a different drawing of the tower and of the lighthouse. Okay. I'd have to go back and look at the drawing. I don't know. Everybody says these details. I'm like, why do I not remember this? I don't remember little details half the time. It might have been different then, I guess.
I know that there are two different lighthouse drawings. One of them has green trees around it. Another one has what looks like yellowish trees, almost like they're on fire. So I know that much. But
I don't remember that. I'd have to look at the picture. We need to get a picture of the map, but or the drawing rather. Though, I wonder if it has to. It just made me wonder. Like, there's two trees. is it 2 towers? Like, is it anything to do with that? Like maybe there's always 2 of something. I don't know.
It seems that way. Yeah, 2 bottle trees with the, yeah, there are 2 bottle trees, maybe there are 2 towers. That's a good point.
Makes sense. It would
Yeah.
definitely make sense. Let's see. Maybe I assume that's supposed to be Nkui or whatever the kids chant was her name in a past life.
Yeah.
I've heard people say it means Aunt Cooey. So yeah, it could be. Okay.
Yeah.
Karen, about sometimes they look human. Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was weird. My point about the human was that one of them looked human and one of them didn't in the cave. And was there a reason? There probably wasn't. But Whitney's saying, yeah, which is true, that they do have to look human to be able to talk.
When I first saw that scene, I thought it was Christopher dead in the corner, and I was like, "Oh, that's really morbid and dark."
Yeah, there's a monster sitting there like that. Yeah, I forget which one it was, but
yeah,
that would have
been like bloated Christopher's body that had been sitting there for years.
Yeah, that wouldn't smell so good. Fletcher's saying maybe Miranda made a deal to save Victor, and that's why they don't attack Victor. Yeah, until we find out what happened to Miranda, I don't know that we're gonna find out, but it's definitely possible.
I think this is why Victor's been alive. Everyone wonders how Victor survived for all these years, especially when he was alone for a long time as a child. I think it's because he was being protected. The monsters couldn't take him out. So, but if he keeps investigating all this, if he keeps like poking around and trying to recover his memories and sharing them, I think
maybe it won't go well. But
yeah.
I know the boy in white helped him too. I had asked Scott McCord something. I'm trying to remember exactly what I asked. Something about how he survived that long. Was it just the boy in white, or how did he live that long on his own? If people want to check out that video later, all of our interview videos I'm mentioning, they're all on this YouTube. And make sure also you guys check out Julie's YouTube channel too. It's in the description.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Like and subscribe to both of us. Okay, let's see. Karen says about yeah, it's possible. I hope it's not copying loss, just because I think people will be mad if the copy's lost too much. But yeah, I think it's possible that there's some people that they can't kill or the town won't kill. But sometimes I think it's more just they won't kill because they're like the bigger stars on the show.
Oh yeah.
I think we
have armor.
Let's see. Here's a good. Yeah, I don't know. You know who the people are. I do not. So let's see. How many chosen ones? Dieter says, how many chosen ones were there at the same time? Boyd's wife had dreams about that place, like Tabitha. I don't think Boyd's wife had dreams about the place before she got there, though. Did she?
Boyd's wife said when she was starting to lose her mind in that flashback sequence, it showed her standing in the middle of the street, just kind of staring into space. And she told Ellis, I just remembered this dream I had when I was a little girl. So I think that she also dreamed of this place as a little girl, like it seems that Tabitha did. Yeah. So I think she was chosen to be here. Like Tabitha was chosen, not in the same way. Maybe Abby wasn't chosen to save some children, but I think she was selected to be here since she had that dream as a child. And so I think Abby was actually the one who was supposed to be here, not Boyd. Boyd just happened to be in the car with her. And so I think this, this place wasn't ready for Boyd and how powerful he's been, how much he's been able to do. And so he wasn't the one who was supposed to be here, I think.
That's interesting. I forgot she said that, but
yeah.
she was a little out of it. But yeah, I forgot she said that. Interesting. I assumed Tabitha and Miranda were the only ones, but maybe not. How many bottle trees are there? There's 2 in the town and 2 in Camden. That's the consensus, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there are just the 2 in Camden.
Yeah. The kimono lady talks and looks like a corpse. Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
I'm just trying to read through these, make sure I believe it's a faraway tree. I think he means in the park. That was the comment I made earlier, that I wish they had gotten to see the second tree, because I wonder if there was a hole in it.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I don't know that they could have jumped.
I think it was implied.
I mean, how many adults, let's be honest, if you saw a tree with a hole in it, how many adults in the real world would climb in it anyway to even know if it was?
I totally would. I totally do it.
I really would. But I'm just saying, like, there could be a portal in the real world, and nobody knows it because nobody goes in it. Or at least the people that went in it end up in the town. Whitney says maybe Victor's mother's sacrifice gave him a shield. Let's see. Maybe we can affirm the park. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see the other tree that's in the real world. I definitely would. And sorry guys, I know I'm going through the chat things quick, but they keep coming up faster than I can go through them.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Okay. So now we are on with Jade talking to Tom. Okay. Now this is why Tom why do I keep forgetting the name bartender? What is wrong with me? Every single time I go to say that, I keep going, what the hell is it? What the hell is it?
Bartender is polishing a glass.
Huh?
He loves to polish that glass.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
In the middle of the woods.
Yeah, that was funny. But
well, it's a glass.
I was
glass
going to say
symbolism.
Yeah, like symbolism there. But yeah, Dead Tom. That's the easiest way Karen to call him, Dead Tom. This is where when I saw this scene, what I wanted to know, and this is what I was saying earlier, that's in the interview with David Alpay, that's in our YouTube, that he talks about that Tabitha's visions mean something, but yet he acts like his visions don't matter, and he says, well, maybe they're garbage, he don't know, but that she wouldn't see it if it wasn't important. So what I wanted to know, and I mean, I don't know if his, idea is wrong, right or not. It was just his idea, but I want to know, why does he not listen to his own visions? Why does he seem to think hers are more important? What do you guys think about that?
You mean Jade doesn't?
That Jade seems to think Tabitha's visions are important, but his aren't necessarily. Like he kind of doesn't do anything about his.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I think his visions are important and they're trying to tell him something. He should be paying more attention.
Maybe he thinks it's just drug or alcohol induced.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when he was in the cabins talking to Kenny and Christy about it, he was calling them hallucinations. And it's like he thinks that he's just hallucinating stuff and losing his mind. And I don't know, but he does. I know he takes the last one seriously with the kids and the roots. Like he said
that one he definitely did.
Just started to think.
I mean, he's rational too. Like Jade's completely irrational, so it probably takes him a long time, to believe anything.
That's true too, but that's where we go back to, are everybody's visions the same, which we don't seem to really have an answer to yet. But anyway, I think he gave a good answer, so people can check that out later, listen to what he said, because if I try to remember right now off the top of my head, I'll botch it. But I did ask him that because it was bugging me. That was the one thing I wanted to know. I asked him that. I asked him about Tabitha, and I asked a fan question, so people can watch that. All right, we're getting comments about the glass. Let's see. Would there be a twist? Tabitha has an evil role. Jade's good. Yeah, maybe. This sounds like a conversation where I think this was on Discord. I had this conversation. I mixed up who's told me what, but the whole thing with like the boy in white, do we necessarily know he's good just because he's wearing white? Like that's what is the trope, right? But wouldn't it be, I think it would be really interesting if it ended up that he was evil and that we were just supposed to think that. It could be kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think the boy in white is, I was all in on the boy in white being evil. But now I've actually started to change my mind. I've come to a different perspective because it just seemed like he deliberately sent Tabitha out for a reason. Seemed like the reason was to find Victor's father and get him back in there. And I don't know if Victor's father would have been able to get there without Tabitha, because she's a chosen one. He's maybe not supposed to be there. Maybe only certain selected people can get in there. So she needed to go out and find him. Once they got in a vehicle, boom, they're in front of them. And it just seems like that's a helpful thing. Victor's father, I mean, unless this is going to be done to torture him, and his father's going to be taken from him now. But it seems like it's going to provide a lot of support. So
yeah, I definitely think that he's done good things. I just was kind of, theorizing the fact that he's white, or he's dressed in white. But that's an interesting thought, though, is you would think most, if they brought people back to the town, like all the other people, like it totally ruined their lives. The ones that, the one, Costa's the only one that survived. The other one in the ambulance, like it made their lives worse. But it really made Henry's life better because he lost his son. I'm sure he would probably rather be in the town with Victor than back in the real world.
Oh yeah,
I one that has that, that point of view.
I mean, he's pretty much he's attaching himself to Victor because he wants that connection so bad.
Yeah, and I completely agree that I think that if he had the choice, like he'd rather be with his son, even in that horrible place, because he's been a broken man all these years without his family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we have, Christy and Marielle too. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe they would say the same. I don't know, but I feel like your child's a little bit different.
It is. It definitely is. I think he would choose to be there just for his son.
I mean, especially his whole family, because his whole family was gone.
Yeah, he's missed them all or lost them all. Yeah. Fletcher thinks the black and white, the boy in white is evil, and that kill the boy meant the boy in white, not Ethan. Yeah, that was kind of thrown around before, but I don't think she knew who the boy in white was at that point.
Let's see. How would you kill the boy in white?
I don't know, because I don't know if he's even corporeal. Did the boy in white want Victor's dad there so Victor could see the last of his family die? Oh, that's awful. Don't say that, Whitney. No. Don't say that.
I hope not.
Okay, now Fletcher says maybe Camden isn't the real world and Henry was sent to control Victor. That's another thing. Just to go back, I don't mean to keep talking about it, but just to go back again to that interview. I have been of the opinion, and again, this is my opinion, but I really think Tabitha left.
I think so too.
The conversation he had, and again, this could just be his, I mean, he may have his own theories, it could just be his opinion, but he was saying, like, do we really know that she went there? So yeah, I don't know. He made me question a lot of things after I talked to him when he started saying that. What's Karen saying? Does it have to be a person? Can Miranda and Victor and Henry all be chosen? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I definitely think more than one person could be supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people were supposed to be there. I think Elgin was supposed to be there. He has a unique connection to the place. Jade, same thing. It's just, it's just chosen in a different way for a different role.
Yeah. And technically, Elgin had a dream of the place before too, because he had the dream before they got to the tree, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
It was never. There is another person then too. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's his grandmother too had something going on.
Who did?
Sure, the nursery rhyme.
Baccha's grandmother knew the nursery rhyme, which is weird. She probably
visions, probably.
Maybe. Okay. Dieter says, what are the monsters doing in the caves? They move the clock and other furnitures. Why? Okay, we sort of talked about this already.
How did they get it in there?
Might just be to make them nuts. Sorry, what?
How did they get it in there? How did they get that grandfather clock in there?
It was a tight space, right? That was weird.
I'm going to also point out the term grandfather clock.
Yeah.
All the
I wonder if some of those items mean anything. Just like I wonder if the items in the basement of the Colony House mean anything. So that's kind of interesting.
Well, Kenny's mom loved tea, and tea's being represented.
That's true. Yeah, maybe one of the items each represents somebody. That's a good point too. I just kept joking and saying the wheelchair belonged to Locke, but that was that's all I said. Dieter says maybe children end up in the real world through nightmares, but just while they sleep, or their visions to prepare themselves. Interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I think that they can. Like, I was thinking that when I watched it last night. I think maybe it's possible for someone to enter real Fromville, enter in a dream, like Tabitha
actually be there,
but in a dream when she was a child. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, that's interesting. Dieter also says, I first thought Eloise the table and the doll there. Thought of Ella Boys. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just like some of these things. I'm like, yeah, it could be. I don't know answers to these, but yeah, these are all really good thoughts. Okay. Fletcher says I'm giving him anxiety with the fast. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not trying. Okay, he's used to your 7-hour drives. I don't think I could sit for 7. I'm sorry. I do tend to talk fast.
You gotta go 8 hours. You gotta play it nice and slow and mellow and to the next morning.
I take forever. I don't know how to just move it along. It's good that you're able to do that.
I am sorry though if I'm going too fast for people. I'll try to go a little slower. It's just the comments are flying by pretty fast, and I'm trying to get to everybody's comments. Yeah, he's joking. I knew you were sort of joking, but
he just want to include people, and that's cool.
What? Sorry, say that again. I have a hard time hearing you. You're not, for some reason, not as loud as they are on my computer. Say that again.
You just want to include people.
Yeah. I'm just trying to include I'm also used to our live shows. We don't get we haven't been getting tons of people live. I'm glad we did tonight finally, but on our other show we haven't been, and so I'm not used to having to click them all.
It's a lot, right? It's a lot to juggle, reading the comments and then trying to go through what you're talking about. It's a lot, but I'm glad people came out. It's great to see.
We definitely appreciate it, and I hope you come out to our Tuesday show, and I hope you go see, like I said, go see Julie's dives. Because I don't know that I could watch an 8-hour video, but most people watch your videos.
Just listen to it. Just listen to it and let it lull you to sleep.
People say that people say they go to sleep to my lives all the time, but check out Sci-Fivision's channel. Seriously, like she interviews.
I want to check out all these interviews. All the interviews sound very exciting.
Yeah, she's going to be interviewing more people, so definitely subscribe to this channel.
Subscribe, like I said, subscribe to both our channels. But there's, if you want written stuff too, there's of course the written parts of the interview at scifivision.com, and also I've been doing written recaps and breakdowns. This is the first time I've done it like this. I still have to post this week's though. I was writing it and then did this instead and didn't quite finish it, but we won't get into that. But that'll be up probably at this point, probably tomorrow. Let's see. What are we on now? Okay, we were talking about Jade. Is there anything else about that conversation with Tom? He yells at him for being drunk.
Yes,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that scene. It was a funny scene.
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I love the vision scenes and Jade's reaction to him, and he runs, he disappears, and Jade's like, you could have said it, you could have just done that in a nicer way, or I forget what. I love Jade.
Now Fletcher's saying to tell my biggest from theory. I don't know that I have like one main big theory yet, just because my theory, and I had said this earlier, was about everything being in Victor's mind, but then this season that all went to hell. So my theory went to hell. And because I don't know, like I have little theories, but not on really one big. I did say, but they kind of said this ended up, they already said, when he was saying about the roots in the cave, I thought that he meant the bottle tree, but I'm kind of assuming from what they said that that's the case. So that isn't really a theory anymore. When he's like at the rocks, when he was looking up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was, I think, my most recent theory, but that they said was true. So that was good. But yeah, I know. I was saying about, the one theory I was saying earlier about that they're occupying the same space. That's how Dale ended up in the side of the pool, that maybe Jade's dimensional rift. That could be right, because it makes sense. So that was my other theory.
Yeah, I like that.
I jump on gummy bears and root beer. lots of sugar, huh? Let's see. Yeah, well that was the end of that scene. If you guys don't have anything else on that scene. The next part is with Ethan and Tabitha in the house. this is where like I try to look for little details, and I don't know if I'm just pulling things out for no reason. He's looking at Tien Chen's book. It looks like it's of different plants. Is that just a detail?
Yeah, it's like an herb book.
Is that important?
Tea, healing, maybe tea, healing, medicinal herbs.
Maybe it says, "Don't eat these plants that you found."
They're all yellow, by the way. They're all yellow on the page. All the herbs are yellow. From what I've seen.
Are they really? God, the colors.
They got yellow leaves on them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was looking at. I had to stop it and look. I don't know. Like, I feel
I thought Ethan was going to learn Chinese, so I was getting pretty excited.
Yeah, that would have been funny though. Dieter, I think Dieter's talking about like Sour Patch Kids. I don't know. I mean, there's I don't know. I think
around
talking about Sour Patch
some
Kids.
of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm bad. I keep turning my air conditioner on or off in here, and I shouldn't be. We had the heater on earlier, but it's hot in my office.
Oh, it's cold here.
Where are you at?
I've got my door shut sitting in here. It's probably why.
Where are you at?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Nice. I thought my mom's family all came from there. Yeah, I'm in Rhode Island, and it's cold here. I'm pretty cold.
Yeah, it's been. Well, I had on shorts earlier, so not that that's really a thing to judge it by, because I always wear shorts. But yeah.
Oh
wow. Let's see. Is there an ancient? Ooh, that's interesting. Whitney says, "Is there not ancient teas that could cause someone to lose a baby?" Yeah, they a lot of times use it to induce labor or to get rid of a baby. That's good. I like that. Let's see. It's cold in New York. Yeah, it probably is cold outside.
Hopefully the baby didn't crawl out of it already.
In my little office. Yeah, that was okay. Let's see.
Yeah, hopefully the baby didn't leave Fatima. Just leave. Just crawl out of her.
Yeah,
now it's lurking. Jasper.
I hope there's still an entity in there. I'm not giving up on that theory just yet. I think
I'm not either. I think they're messing with ultrasound.
Did you guys watch X-Files?
I've seen a little bit of it. I just
asked because the three of us that normally have the show, Karen being one of them, we watch X-Files. And I just, when you were saying that about the baby leaving, it just made me think of the butt genie and a whole joke on there, and it's a bad joke. If you didn't see X-Files, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, but it made me laugh.
I need to watch.
I played everything to X-Files. Okay. Fletcher says, "What if Tilly's amazing tea killed the baby?" That's interesting. Although I would think that if she aborted the baby, like in a normal way, there would be a body. I mean, I don't think it would just disappear. So
there'd just be something.
I think there might be something wrong. Like, I think maybe like the whatever entity is in control here, maybe they just messed with the ultrasound and made it not able to see it, or maybe there's an entity that can't be detected by ultrasound. No, it's something other than a baby. I'm still not giving up.
Lovecraftian. It's a Lovecraft baby.
Yeah,
could be.
Let's see. Amy says the baby randomly crawling around would be wow. That was kind of what I was thinking when I said the budget. Okay. Dieter's talking about the descriptions of the last two episodes. I don't know. I don't know about that if they're real or not, because I don't know what he's talking about, but we don't want to get into this.
The next two episodes?
Yeah. I won't get into what they are. I just know what he's talking about.
It's kind of spoilery.
There's some that are going around that are total bullshit.
I'm not going to say anything about what they are, but the Rotten Tomatoes website does have episode synopses for episodes 9 and 10, which it didn't before, but now it does. And it also
like long synopsises or just like a few sentences?
Yeah.
A short synopsis, so nothing crazy or anything.
But like 4 sentences though. Like 4 sentences.
Just like one sentence.
Well, there's been a lot of things going around. I mean, all I tell people, because the truth is, I've seen things that are like completely made up, and I've seen things that somebody clearly leaked it. So
this is legit. So if anybody doesn't want to know anything at all about, Fletcher the Crown Monocle, if you want to know, you can check it out. It's at Rotten Tomatoes on the From. Like you can just look for From on Rotten Tomatoes. There are synopses, brief ones for episodes 9 and 10, and a picture for each one. But if you don't want to know anything, do not go there, because it will. It's not a huge like earth-shattering thing, but some people just don't want to know anything, and I totally get it.
People are different.
Yeah,
but we won't give out any. But I don't know. My answer is you get answers. That's all I've been saying to people. You will get answers because that is true. But I'm not telling you anything, so it's all good.
yes.
All right. Let's see. Where were we? Donna and Ken. Oh no, we were with Tabitha. Sorry, Tabitha's vision in the house. Why is she seeing the Ankui kids in the house? You think it's just because it happens to be in the house, or do you think there's, I don't know, they follow her up the stairs? What was up with that?
I don't know. That was weird. That was like a replay. It was so much like what happened to her before when she was near the cave, and all of the Ankui kids started coming to her from different directions. And then like they got to her, she crouched down and panicked. And the same thing. They came from different directions in the house. She crouched down in the same way. I don't know why they're still coming after her. That surprised me. I thought that was, I don't know, maybe there's still a mission that she needs to complete, and she did fail to finish it out there. I don't know. Maybe there's something that she can do within Fromville. I don't know, because those kids are clearly not alive. So maybe she needs to do something to just defeat this place so that their souls can be set free or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that she has to release them somehow.
Yeah.
Like give them release.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was creepy though, the way they did it.
It was super creepy. I liked it. Yeah.
Sometimes it would be helpful if other people saw them, It's always her and Jade.
Right.
And Dieter said something very true. Tabitha should save her own children. That's like I said earlier when Don is like, go to your children. You people need to be better parents.
They're just wandering around the place.
Seriously.
She just got back. She got back to the real world and she's not wandering around talking to Donna.
Yeah, focus on your own kids. Miranda was all set on saving the children too, and look what happened. Her 2 kids got sucked in there with her, and I mean, I guess it wasn't her fault. She didn't go there on purpose. I don't think she would have had a choice, but still, like once you're in there, focus on your own kids.
She kept dreaming about it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but like, are you sure she didn't like go to the town I guess she wouldn't know how to get there, so that it wouldn't make sense. But they, to me, sometimes made it sound like she knew she was going to be going there. But I guess she wouldn't. I don't know. Would you take your kids if you knew you were going to go there and be stuck there? I mean, you wouldn't want your kids to be there, but you wouldn't want to be without them. But I would think you'd take your husband with them if that was the case.
I think she got trapped there. I think she's taking the kids to school. She saw a log, she turned around. She's in Fromville.
I don't think she did it on purpose, taking them. I think she just knew it was going to happen. Like I don't think she would have done that with her kids on purpose. Yeah. So I think.
Okay, let's see. Amy says, like, that they're hungry. She's got more kids to feed. Maybe that's what Ankui means. Maybe it's to have food.
Now the Ankui kids just live there. They just walk downstairs and fix themselves something to eat in the kitchen.
That'd be interesting, yeah. We don't even know if they can eat that's why I said that. We don't even know if these things are corporeal, if they can touch things. We don't even know.
Yeah.
Maybe those children are captured while they had nightmares and then sacrificed. I don't know what LD is. Sacrificed on the slabs. That's how the front place
laying down.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does seem like they could have been sacrificed. I wouldn't go if I had kids. Yeah, but I think, I don't know that she could stop it, I think is the issue. Let's see. It feels weird that Victor Miranda always had so many toys, clothes. It feels like Miranda knew where she was going and didn't want to take Henry. Maybe she's like, stay there. Or who knows? Maybe we'll find out there was a reason she didn't want to take Henry. He's some evil.
Or it could be that the entity, just like what Julie says all the time, is it just duplicates things and puts it in Fromville.
Or maybe she knew if she took Henry, who knows? Maybe she thought if she took Henry, he wouldn't survive for some reason. I mean, she's having visions.
I don't think that Miranda knew she was going to go, because Victor had the lunchbox. It looks like Henry went to work. It was a typical day. She took the kids to school, ended up seeing a log, and just ended up there.
Yeah. I don't know, but Mary said one thing that was true. She did have a violin. He had weird things with him, yes. But I don't know that she necessarily knew. I mean, she might have had the violin just like all the time to calm him down. It's hard to know. It's
yeah.
Really okay, they're talking about spoilers. We're talking Julie, at least that's what people have been talking. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, they're talking about spoilers. Yeah, we won't talk about spoilers.
Yeah, no one. These people are cool. That yeah, she's. I mean, Fletcher and Dieter, they're in my chat all the time, and Amy. You don't have to worry. No one's gonna post spoilers.
No, that's fine. I don't want to get in trouble for doing anything. You guys, you're free to look at spoilers all you want. I know a lot of people want to, but we're just not here. Let's see. I knew Henry was. Yeah, no, I'm reading. I'm just trying to read which ones to put up. I knew Henry was going to start talking in the tunnels. Yeah, because Victor told him to be quiet, although he wasn't quite as bad as Tabitha. It wasn't quite as bad. They need more of a budget for security. Yeah, they kind of do. But then again, they put out the picture of the ultrasound. So that's the marketing department. I don't know about that, but they did it. All right, let's see. So
they do that.
Donna and Kenny. We started to talk about that. He mentioned the sex parties. We don't
sex parties.
Yeah, I agree with what Karen said earlier. I don't think Kenny will stay there very long. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he would.
Yeah.
It's just gotta lose his virginity.
Yeah. Sounds like he's not
yeah.
on it though. He's like, you're still at parties, are you? Yeah. He's not gonna fit in there.
Yeah,
but it might be funny. A couple scenes might be pretty funny.
Kind of person for Colony House, but I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, depending how long he stays.
I guess he couldn't take the Matthews screaming matches with one night of that, and he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, maybe that is why he left. That's funny. Could have been. He's like, oh, they could have the house. I don't want to be there. And again, we got a lot of listeners. If you guys want to, join our out loud conversation, remember you can hop in the room by clicking the StreamYard link that's in the YouTube comments. Yeah, don't do screenings, just make it and release it. There's always going to be screenings, though. There has to be, just for the way things are. There's always going to be. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people got it this season. So
yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, this is when Ethan. Okay, we're getting near the end. When Tabitha and Ethan come into the bar and Jade's looking at the numbers. This is more, again, about the numbers and him trying to figure out the bottle trees. And he starts talking about the placement of the numbers are different, but that both trees had the same numbers and some of them repeat. And they need to find the pattern. So what do you guys think about the numbers?
Well, the fact that some of the numbers repeat, that made me think, okay, maybe these are not years like we've been thinking. I mean, I know one of the ones said 2659, but I still thought it could be dates because, it could be February 6th, 1959. But since he said they're repeating, now I'm thinking maybe they're not dates after all. Maybe there is some kind of code that they need to decipher and look for a pattern. Like maybe there is some kind of code, and some of the numbers were backwards. Yeah, that's
inverted.
Yeah.
Karen says, likes my theory that they're coordinates. I don't know if I can't remember whose theory that was either. She's not sure. We were talking about it on our show Tuesday. I don't remember who said. Oh, I said the thing. What she might be talking about is I had said about how I had saw on Facebook that somebody was saying that Victor had written them down. They were the number of steps between different things. I'm sure some of you have seen that Facebook post that on his drawing, I guess some of those numbers, it sounds like, are on the drawing. And I don't know, the drawing was so tiny and so hard to read. I didn't quite understand what it was supposed to mean, and I just sort of gave up. But yeah, they could be. It could be something to do with where the tree travels.
Could be.
Yeah, let's see. Fletcher says those are the numbers of the simulation chambers of the ball.
Oh gosh. Please no simulation.
We hope not. Now, Goldchild says one of the numbers is Henry's address. I'm trying to think. I do remember vaguely thinking that, but I don't.
I thought there was one that was close, but there was one digit off. But I don't know.
Maybe it was
like
1579, like 1579 and 1597.
I don't know. See, this is where I'm really bad at tiny things like that, remembering the details. That's why usually I write them down in the recaps, but I'd have to go back and look at them all because I don't remember. But definitely could be. Let's see. Dieter says, could they be could they be codes like creating software, just put papers with English words in it? Yeah, if they just said, this is how you get out, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
You just had to use the Greek code, and add all the numbers together to make Greek words.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Then you'll know.
Some people are actually, they're thinking that somehow the numbers could correlate to Greek in some way. I don't know. That's beyond me. I don't go down that particular rabbit hole.
It's the Greek code. Like each Greek letter represents a number, and then by adding those numbers together, you get a word. Hebrew does that too.
Oh my God.
I can't. Fletcher's saying trying to see if Tabitha's hospital room was in it. I don't think they've shown all the numbers. I think that's the issue. I don't think they've showed them all to us.
I thought it was 22 something, like 22 something 9.
Yeah, the one that Tabitha had, I want to say was 2695, something like that.
2659.
Something like that.
It was definitely
2259.
Well, the hospital room, he's saying the hospital room was 2225.
Okay.
Bottles, I don't know, because I don't think we've seen all the numbers in the bottles. I think they've just randomly showed us some of them, haven't they? I don't think we've. Karen's saying one of the numbers is 1864, which was during the Civil War, and he didn't mention the soldier. Yeah, and we talked about. I had mentioned Tuesday. I think everybody knows about the dates that were on in Tabitha's dream of the tower that had the dates, which seemed to match whatever these numbers are, which we were assuming would not even be dates. But
I hope somebody takes a really, really clear shot of that, the two tree pictures Jade has and the years, because I can't see that on my television.
I don't know. Yeah, it's clear enough to see. I don't know. That one was 2659. Karen says also the year that I don't know if that's Elgin or Elgin. Elgin Watch Company was founded in Illinois. Yes, we always go down the rabbit hole.
I can go down the rabbit hole of Elgin Marble as well, because I found a bunch of stuff on Elgin Marbles.
We have. Oh, I forgot the screen. I'm bad. I forgot the screenshot of that. Sorry. Actually, I forgot all of them. I'm so bad at this. I'm used to Karen doing it. She's better. But here's the one in you can't read most of them.
Oh, yeah. And I can't see anything.
Screenshot. At least I can't read most of them. I see 5s, 5915 or something. Don't know. But there's his numbers. There might be, I haven't actually looked. I probably should look. Have you, I don't think you guys get them, so you wouldn't know. I don't know if Karen's looked or not. There might be pictures of it on the press site because they should have released them by now. So I'm going to look while you guys are talking. I'm looking at my other monitor. Because I'm going to
Amazon might have some clear stills.
Yeah, they do, but they don't always. Some of them come out after the episodes. Whoops, I'm on MGM. It would help if I was on MGM, wouldn't it? Okay, let's see. Now, if I do this right, let's see. Episodic. Okay. There's ones from 306. There's one of the dummy. That doesn't help us.
I know there was one of Jade like writing something on the wall, but the angle didn't really show anything.
Yeah, you can't. I see what you're talking about. It's not there. And there's one showing them on the table, but they don't. None of them show anything. There are some good pictures, but none of them are anything relevant. That doesn't show. There's a picture of the new not talisman, the statue thing. I don't know if that's. I'm assuming that's probably the one from her dream, just because we have pictures of all the other ones. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
So, and then it goes into the other episode. So there's nothing there that's going to be helpful to anybody. Sorry, I thought there might have been, but there's not.
It's too bad because Amazon, those pictures are so bright and clear. It's really nice. I love
they are. There are so many nice ones of Henry's basement.
Oh, yeah, that was a treasure trove. My only gripe is I just wish they'd put them out the week after the episode, but I know why they do it for the press. It's just, like I want to be surprised by it, and they reveal a lot.
Yeah, well, it's one thing when they release them in order for you to post them, they release them ahead, but if they're going to release them ahead, they should embargo them and just have them so they're ready. Because I know that's what they always did with like Doctor Who and stuff. Like they would come out, but you couldn't show them. So
yes,
that's what they should do in theory. But
yeah, because I already knew, because of those photos, I already knew that Victor and his father go into the cave. They find that dummy. They bring him to the peach truck. So I would have liked to be surprised at all that. I know it was nothing earth shattering, but I don't know. I like to be surprised, and that I love anything regarding that Jasper dummy. So I have a channel, so I can't avoid all these things. I hear.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Jade mentioned the soldier to Tabitha when she saw the soldier. She did seem to recognize the soldier in the basement. So yeah, she must have. But yeah, I know, and I totally get what you're saying. Although I think the problem is, because we had this discussion before with, I don't remember who it was, maybe Karen will remember, but years ago, we had this discussion with like a writer on one of the shows we were covering. And the marketing department and the ones that decide the trailers and those kinds of things are not usually the people involved in making the show. So they don't necessarily want them out, but they put them out because they make the decisions. So yeah, not always beneficial. We're talking about the number of steps. Yes. There was a picture about the numbers being numbers of steps between trees or something like that. It was on Victor's drawing. That's what they're asking about. That was what I was talking about. Let's see. He just says they need to figure out the pattern. And then Marielle and Randall, we mentioned that before. Here's something that's interesting. Whenever he's talk about the peach that you're calling the peach truck, in the truck, they talk about the scarf, and he's like, why do they take things? Why do they take things?
Yeah.
Do we have an answer to that? That makes me think of, I know a lot of people compared this movie to this before, but Watchers, it makes me think of that movie. Like, why are they taking things?
The fairies, yeah.
Yep. The fairies, the fae, they take people's things.
Being fae.
It's going to add fuel to that theory, because a lot of people think, have that theory about this show. So I don't think that they're fae personally, but it's interesting. It's kind of like the way the boy in white told Victor to take a personal item off of each body that he couldn't bury and save them. It's like there's something related to that, like the energy around like a personal possession that belongs to somebody. It could be why Tabitha was able to get to the location that was so close to Henry's house. She had Victor's lunchbox. So that's a theory that's going around, that these items could serve as
that's interesting.
Kind of an anchor.
Like even in season 1, Trudy took possession of Fatima's sweater. There's been a lot of like possessional things going around.
Yeah.
Randall with his possessions. It's very it's a running theme.
It is. It's interesting. I'm not sure why the monsters are doing it, but
yeah, I hadn't thought about them taking things until he said they took the scarf. I didn't really know they did until then, but I hadn't. I mean, we know that Victor had all the items of people, but that was because he took them off the bodies. It wasn't the monsters that did it. So
right. This has something to do with like objects being connected to people, though. Like an object from a person. It seems like it has a connection. It has their energy attached to it. So like the monsters take this thing. And I think it's why the boy in white told him to take those things, not just to honor those people, like Victor. I mean,
like maybe there's a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and remember Smiley? When they did the autopsy on Smiley, he had a wallet and a tooth that he must have taken off this old couple that he had murdered from the bus. So they always take something. I think they take one thing from each victim.
Interesting. Unless it's just like a serial killer type thing when they take items of victims.
A trophy.
Amy's saying, I think the souls are trapped when you take an item. That's interesting. Maybe they become the creatures. Who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah, they're talking about, okay, Victor's peach map. You already said that. And what's this? If they have a personal item, then they have your DNA and can infect your state of being. That's possible too. Okay. Karen says she disagrees on the black and white. Why do I keep saying black and white? You can tell I'm getting tired. Boy and white telling Victor to take things. He recalls that as a way of honoring them because he couldn't bury them. Yeah, he said that the boy in white said that to him. But you're right. That could just be kind of the way he remembered it. It's hard to tell. But and as for somebody, I forget where it was. Somebody was saying, Fletcher was saying they don't think it's like Watchers. I don't necessarily think it's like Watchers either. I was just saying that the idea of there being like all these items down there that belong to people, it reminded me of that in the movie. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then Fletcher says, let's see, maybe they take the objects to have something of them to use in their nightmares.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Let's see. Then we have, deeper into the cave. We already talked about them going in the sea. Some of this we did out of order about why don't they attack in the caves. We said that. Julie finds out Randall's leaving. That's not really, I don't know that that's really important. He smokes, he's going to smoke the pot with her. We didn't actually see it, but
right.
What's about the scarf? I'm scanning. Okay, now let's talk about we touched on this, but I don't know that we talked as much as we're going to at length about Fatima maybe being not pregnant. It sounds like we don't all think that.
Yeah, I think she might still have an entity in her that they just couldn't detect on a sonogram or an ultrasound, rather. That's what I think. I don't think she's turning into a monster personally, but I know that's a really popular theory, and it's possible. I just don't know what could have caused that to happen if that's the case. And I don't know. It makes more sense to me that there would be an entity inside of her. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that theory, and I could be wrong, but at least I got out of that theory when I heard somebody say it about how like we know the Smiley's body was like all desiccated and had like no blood, so maybe that's why she needs the blood. I think that was where part of that theory came from, at least from the person I was talking to at the time.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Fletcher's saying, because I thought at first that was a joke about the weed, but yeah, the drugs seem to help Miranda see things. Maybe them taking the pot could do something good.
Yeah, it seems like the
it's kind of funny, but it could.
The pot seems to calm it down. Julie said that when she hears the screaming in her head from what she experienced, the only thing that quiets it is the pot. So this will probably calm things down for Julie and Randall if they're doing this. And the acid has the opposite effect. Apparently, it intensified this connection Miranda had to the point where she could see all of the people in her role that came before her and all of those visions. So it definitely seems like the drugs are this recurring theme. Like acid intensifies a connection to this place, and weed can kind of calm it down, at least temporarily.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't really thought about it, but you're right, because that's what they did when they dropped acid. It seemed to make her paint more, I think.
So after that, he said she never saw visions or heard voices until they did that. After that point, and he didn't see anything because he wasn't a chosen person to see anything. Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, they haven't really gotten, I don't know that they've necessarily outright gotten into it on the show, but there's a lot of idea too about like fate, I feel like. Because like once they see the tree, they can't do anything. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Like I think that's a big theme. Yeah, like there are certain people that just seem fated to be here no matter what they do, and like once they see the tree, they're already stuck. There's something to do with that. Like Miranda's fate was to end up in this place. Like she saw all this stuff before she ever got there, and so that there was nothing she could have done to avoid it, really.
Yeah,
I think it just brought her there against her will.
Yeah, I still think though, you talk about them trolling fans. I would like to see somebody come to the town and try going over the tree, because you see that so much, because it does seem like a common sense thing. Like, why does nobody try to go forward? So I'd like to see them do that and show us it don't work.
They missed their opportunity. This was their perfect opportunity, because
It was.
normally nobody would leave their car and just abandon their car and go over the tree and like walk down the street. But Tabitha was in an ambulance. She knew what that tree meant. This was her chance. I thought they were gonna show us that it doesn't work and have her run over the tree, because I'm sure they know that fan theory. They follow fan theories. But
That's
they didn't.
what Fletcher's saying. I didn't see his comment before I said that, but yeah, too many people. I think it makes sense though. Like, I don't think it's the answer, but it makes me want to see it, because it does seem like such a, I don't know, a normal thing you would do, that you would try, you know?
Exactly. This was their shot. This was their chance to show us if it works or not. If it probably wouldn't work. I wanted to see her run over the tree, run down the street, and just find herself in Fromville anyway. Like, that would have been funny. But
yeah, would have been. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to see them try to go further outside of the town to see if they can find more things, but it's not safe necessarily, because his tent got pulled. I mean, they have to kind of be within running distance of, the talisman hut or whatever. Though they do have don't some of the vehicles still work though? I feel like somebody should try to go out and just see if they can. I mean, we know that they're going to come back to the town. They can't get out of the town. We know that.
Yeah.
And I'm not meaning that, but I'm meaning, like, I would like them to explore the outskirts of the town, because there could be things that could help them. Just like how they found all that food. There could be other things that could really help them.
Doesn't the ambulance still work?
The ambulance, the ambulance still works. They have Donna's van also.
That's something else though that made me think of, and this is a completely separate issue, but I really think they need to take, especially now that Randall's not going to be on the bus. They don't need it there. They need to put a talisman in either a car or an ambulance or something, and keep it like between the houses and Colony House, or at one of them. Because if something goes wrong where they need to get somebody to the clinic, if they get in the car and they have a talisman, they can go to the clinic and not get killed on the way.
Right. Right.
Say that for the beginning.
It would be nice to have them for emergencies.
Yeah. Well, they tend to have a lot of those.
They do.
What you were saying about the clinic used to be a school. Yeah, I had mentioned that earlier. I don't know if there used to be children there or not. I wish we knew why, like, what the town was before all these people were there. If it was a normal town before all these people were there.
It makes it look like it, because like the clinic that was a school, you see children's artwork on the wall, and there are Halloween decorations too. It looks like they were having a Halloween party. It's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, there's signs about numbers on the wall, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. What if it was a normal town and it turned into this? Or I don't know. I tend to think that everything here was kind of duplicated from like the real world, or like our dimension, and this is like a pocket dimension that kind of mirrors it. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's the way I try to make sense of it.
Yeah, I do think that, alternate dimension or pocket dimension makes sense. The ideas of the wormholes or the rifts make sense. But I feel like that is something of what the town is probably not something we're going to find out till the end of the show. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that's gonna take a bit.
We'll be lucky if they even explain much of the origin by the end. I hope we get a lot about that, because I want to know. I want to know everything.
Yeah, I do too, and why it's called From.
Yes,
officially. Yeah. We talked about the ultrasound. We talked about the Polaroids. And then I think this is kind of the last scene I've been going through everything. This is like the last one. We find out when Tabitha sees Jade's drawings that she remembers her dream. And we touched on this earlier. She knows that there's stones there. And I find it very interesting. You guys said that I keep wanting to call them talismans, the statues, wards, whatever the heck they are. Jade called them wards in this one. At least that's something to call them. Mm-hmm. That they're different. I find that very interesting, because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she thinks she's definitely been, had those dreams, which I think is kind of like I think that's a big revelation. I don't know what it means, but I think it's a big revelation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that it's a place that you can enter through a dream. Like maybe it wasn't even just a premonition dream. She, as a child, like through a dream, she was really there. Like maybe
And that's why she ended up there, you mean?
Yeah, she was definitely, I think this goes back to fate too. She was always supposed to be chosen to be here from the time she was a child. She had that dream. That's what that tells me for sure. It's really interesting actually. So like this place has people picked when they're still children, like they're already fated to be
scary.
to be chosen. Yeah. It's interesting. I was excited. And at first when I saw that, I thought, wait a minute, like there are some people who saw the little girl and thought that was Eloise, and I was like, wait a minute, no, that's not Eloise.
They show, because it's a different actress. They would look the same.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're not the same. But some people got excited for a second and thought it was her, and Tabitha is Eloise.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying she's Eloise. I mean, I get it. It made sense, but they look different. So I don't see at this point how it's possible.
Exactly.
Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. They're just saying that maybe the hotel or motel that's missing could be the tower.
Okay.
That's interesting. Now, that's why I go back to the idea that it was called Star Magic. Does that mean it? I mean, because it's such a weird name.
It is. It is
very weird.
It's very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Like people in Lovecraft stories use star magic to call it Cthulhu. I mean, it's also kind of like kind of like Aleister Crowley too. I think there's star magic in like what Crowley did as well. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Lovecraft. There's actually a term, star magic. I got to do more Lovecraft research.
I think so. I think so in Lovecraft. I mean, I definitely know it's a Crowley, but like I'm pretty sure it's mentioned in Lovecraft as well.
Oh, okay. Wait. Fletcher says, now I don't know because I don't remember, but what was Cautry's chocolate bar named?
Cosmic. It was Cosmic something.
Oh,
Cosmic.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it was Cosmic something.
Yep. I think so.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, star magic. Yeah, that makes sense though, that if that's a Lovecraft term, I think this show has a lot of influences coming from Lovecraft. That it seems like there are major influences, and like the cave drawing reminds people a lot of Cthulhu, the red squid monster. But there's a lot that's Lovecraftian, I think, dreams and nightmares, and that's a big theme in Lovecraft work too. Interesting.
I wish we could talk to like a writer or the creator. That's who I'd like to talk to. Like I love talking to the cast and everything, but I want to talk to a writer and like pick their brain,
Right.
You can't,
I'd like to.
You can't like look up some Instagrams and see who writes and talk to them?
They probably wouldn't they probably wouldn't tell you anything.
No, they wouldn't tell you anything, but I think like just to talk to them about like even the inspiration, like you're talking about those kind of things.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That'd
be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool if you could. That would be cool.
I'm trying. I'm always writing people. It just hasn't happened yet, but maybe. We don't know.
It's awesome though that you have been able to make the connection. Interview these people. It's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad they've come on the show. I didn't know if they would come on our show or not, but they did, and they've each stayed a pretty long time too, which was really nice.
That's cool.
That's amazing. I'm going to be checking out all those replays now that I'm so glad I found your channel.
Thanks. Yeah. You have to make sure you look under live and the videos, because I've done a lot of them junket wise, and then we've had them on the show, some of them. So it's in both areas. And Karen's saying sometimes a name is just a name. You are right. It could mean absolutely nothing.
Could be a red herring.
It's just a reference. They like Lovecraft,
I think sometimes there are little things that are just shout outs to certain influences that they have, like they have, big Stephen King influences, Lovecraft, So yeah, it could just be that, you know.
Well, they also mentioned stars a lot. Just they mentioned stars throughout the series.
Interesting.
So it's another reference to star.
Right.
What do you mean by that when you say that? Like, I know we said cosmic with the candy bar, but what do you mean stars?
I can't. I'm really tired. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Well, that's okay. I just wondered, like, what.
Let me think. Let me think on it, and I'll just burst in when my brain finally kicks in.
Well, that's fine. I told you I can't remember little details like that without looking them up. That's why some of the things I remember are only because I write way too long recaps.
Oh yeah, I feel you. I write a lot of long notes too. I have to write everything down, and sometimes there are red herrings too. So star magic could also be a red herring. You know?
I do think we're going. Whitney says, I do think we're going to find out the yellow in the screen means the entity is there. We can't see it, or mean the person's not in their real mind. Yeah, yellow. We've said definitely yellow is definitely a theory, but what do you? Maybe I'm misinterpreting something though. What do you mean yellow in the screen?
Maybe she meant in a scene or on screen or something like
that.
Oh,
maybe. I thought I don't know why. I thought she meant the ultrasound with the way she was talking about the end. I don't remember why I took it that way, but that's what I thought she meant. And I'm like, I don't think there was any yellow on there.
Right.
Yellow on screen. Yeah. I think they meant on screen. Astronomy.
Yeah, it's confusing because yellow means different things in different cultures. Yellow in Western cultures, it's actually a positive thing. It means hope. Like
tying that's what I was saying. I was exactly going to say the same thing about hope.
Tying a yellow ribbon would mean like you're hoping for your loved one to come back from war safely. So yellow can also mean hope. And that's a theme in this show, hope.
Yeah, hope is definitely a theme. Was what you were talking about stars to do with astronomy? That was why I put that up. She said about astronomy. I don't know. I mean, I guess stars are astronomy. That was a dumb statement. But, I thought maybe that.
I mean, I'm going to have to go through everything and remember all the star references, and I wasn't prepared for that right now.
No, it's okay. I just thought maybe if I put that, it would remind you. But yeah, I had made mention in my recap. I thought it was interesting last week, and now you're making me forget things. Julie made a comment about how they used hope to make that maybe her mother was sent and let out to give her hope because hope will make them suffer. And then there was, what the hell was the other reference? Somebody else in the same episode said something very similar. God, this was last week. I should remember what it was.
So yeah,
Henry was talking about hope.
Yes, you're right, Henry. Yeah,
Henry said like around every corner, every time he would go for a walk, he would think he might see his family.
Yeah, and that the hope was the worst part.
That was the worst part. Yep.
It stuck out to me because it reminded me of what Boyd's wife said about like that the hope kept the monster going or whatever, rather than their fear.
Hope is what feeds the forest. It's not your fear that feeds the forest. It's hope. I think she was being manipulative though. I don't really believe that.
It just made the line stick out to me.
Absolutely. It's a very memorable line. So it's hard to say, like, was there a kernel of truth that slipped through, even though she was manipulating him at the time? Maybe there's a kernel of truth. You know?
I think that hope, I mean, when I think of hope in this series, I think the hope that comes along with the hopelessness, that's almost one and the same. You have the hope, and then you have the letdown and the hopelessness, and I think the monsters feed on all of that, the whole cycle of it.
Yeah, the disappointment when the hope doesn't get fulfilled. The constant letdown. Yeah, definitely.
Fletcher, I'm going through the chat. Fletcher says maybe the hotel's on a different dimension, like Martin's building. Martin's thing was underground, right?
I think it was I think it was like a tower at one time. It looked like you see the ruins of it, and then there was a well.
Yeah, where the art star.
Well, the well was underground. That's true. I guess the whole thing wasn't. I was just thinking Boyd said that that the tree took him underground, but that's because it took him to a well, not to the place he was at necessarily.
Yeah.
Maybe the lighthouse needs to be destroyed. That's a possibility. Let's see what else. Okay, when Tabitha. Well, they're talking about more yellow things. Yeah.
Yeah, and also we've got that picture that everyone is obsessed with the painting of the man in yellow. A lot of people are thinking like maybe that's significant in some way. He's got a yellow suit on and he has a kind of red aura around him. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of that because he looks pretty evil. He does. Like he does. Your face.
But I mean, the way the drawings are, it's hard to tell. They're not super realistic.
No, they're not.
I mean, I always thought when they showed the pictures in the opening of somebody in yellow, I thought it was supposed to be Boyd because, again, back to yellow, Boyd has that yellow shirt.
Right.
I definitely don't think that picture in the basement is supposed to be Boyd.
Right.
I mean, well, it's a white man, so I guess it couldn't be Boyd. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I thought for whatever reason when I watched the opening credits.
Right. Yeah, the fact that Boyd wears yellow, to me, it makes sense if it represents hope because he's the embodiment of the town's hope. And this season now he's not wearing it anymore, so it seems like
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he's losing his hope. That's for sure. Do you think the monsters feed on it like sustenance? I think they're just cruel and enjoy it. Karen asks. I didn't think it quite meant literally. I mean, it could be, but yeah, I think it just they want to screw with people, and I think that's why they do a lot of things. I think has no rhyme or reason. It's just to see what happens and mess people up.
Psychological warfare, whatever entity is controlling the monsters, I think it metaphorically it feeds on their suffering and pain, fear. Absolutely, yeah.
Now Whitney says something interesting. She says about lighting the torch to get to the tower or whatever we're saying that place is, the ruins of the tower, that there are other dimensions. Yeah, I think that the places like this is where we talk again about things being in the same location or whatever in different space, whatever. You know what I was saying earlier about the pool. my vocabulary has gone to shit, but you know what I'm talking about. But I think it could be other dimensions or other time. Like, I kind of wondered sometimes if it's like same place, different time.
Yeah, and that's what I thought about the tower. I thought that was basically a version of Fromville from the past, but it was also a dream state. So he was essentially entering a dream state in the past of Fromville, and when he came out of it, there are ruins there. So that's the way I
left. But it is interesting though. It did seem to be that maybe the torch could have done it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It seems like the torch did bring him back.
But I question why. It's interesting. Like, why would that? I mean, one of the many things we don't know the answer to. I'm just like wondering. That's such a weird thing to use as like the way to change it.
Yeah, what confuses me about it is it doesn't seem consistent because he got there by going into a faraway tree, possibly because of the slip of paper in his pocket that says 1864. Maybe it took him to 1864 Fromville, but anyway, I mean, he got there by going into a tree, and he got out without any, without the use of anything except walking out of there with a torch in his hand. Then he goes back with the torch. It's so confusing. Like,
maybe it's more about light. Like you think of like the lighthouse having a purpose. Like maybe it's not like the fire as it's a torch, but like that it's lit in that sense. If that I don't know if that made sense what I said, but
yeah, no, I get you what you're saying. Yeah.
Let's see. Fletcher is saying. And I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. The yellow man in yellow looks like the guy that Jade saw. I, for some reason was braiding Boyd. Okay, remind me when Jade saw somebody in a yellow suit.
The guy that gets pressed with a rock that makes a scream like the dummy screams in Jade's visions.
I didn't remember.
And the rock's really yellow in that shot. The rock that presses him is really yellow. Like almost intentionally so.
Look at that. See, I thought before that it looked like the guy was sort of stuck in the rock, is what I thought when I originally saw it. So I immediately assumed after the whole thing with Dale happened, that's what that was. And I don't know that it is, but that's to me what it looked like, or at least what I remember it looking like. But I don't remember what color he had on that. I don't remember.
I always thought he probably went through a tree and ended up crushed by a rock.
Stuck there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
he has kind of like he has like a regular suit on. I'm just saying the color they put on the rock, they light the rock really yellow.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Fletcher says, that's what I was trying to say by talking about the Hotel Martin's building. We can affirm that Martin's building was in another dimension. Yeah, it could be. Well, that's why I said it could be another dimension. It could be another time.
Right.
But I definitely think the dimension thing makes sense too.
It could be. Yeah.
And he says maybe the hotel has an object that can lead you inside, like the torch that Boyd had in Martin's building. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They have to find it first, though. before they get the object, they have to find it.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? We don't have, I don't think, anything more specific from the episode, but what other theories? I'm trying to think. My brain's going blank. What theories have we not talked about?
Yeah, I'll think about the star stuff, and maybe I'll put it in a comment once my brain kicks in.
Yeah.
That's okay.
For your FYI.
Yeah, I told you, I can't remember half the stuff I'm trying to remember, so that's okay. Karen says maybe Fromville can move. Oh, I know where are you thinking? Let me ask Karen, are you thinking like how the island moved? I wonder if that's where she's getting that, or at least that's what she's making me think of, because our show started out Lost. That's why we are always like talking about Lost.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the items are important and the monsters take them. Past items teleport you to that time. That is very interesting. And yes, Karen was talking about Lost. I figured she was. I know her well enough.
Because lost items could take you back to where the item last was.
Yeah. I wonder what it's making me think of, and I can't even remember exactly what happened in it. But did any of you? I think Karen did. But did any of you ever see The Lost Room? It's about a hotel.
No.
Just making me think of that. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but like I think they would like went into different dimensions or something. I can't even remember. It has been like decades, I think, since I've seen it. But it's a really good sci-fi show. The problem is it only had so much, and then it was canceled. Okay, apparently we'll know the story about the massacre in the finale. Maybe it'll explain how the star magic sign. Maybe in the finale of the series, maybe. Yeah, I think that's kind of one of those things we might not know till the end. So I think that's a good, what the town is and that kind of thing, I think are definitely questions we ain't going to get an answer to for a while. Julie, okay. Julie, what do you think will happen on the next episode? He's asking. What do you think?
I think something big is going to happen with Fatima and this situation. I think, I think that she's going to get sicker. I think that there's going to be some kind of major crisis, and possibly some kind of I think we're going to lose somebody. There's going to be some kind of based on the episode synopses that were released a couple months ago, I think there's going to be some kind of tragedy. So I think the tragedy is going to be Fatima. Something bad is going to happen. I don't know what exactly, but something big is going to happen with her. I definitely think so.
Do you remember which episode they said that she had to make a big decision?
It was episode 6. So apparently the decision.
Really? So the ultrasound was a big decision.
I thought that too. I think it was getting the ultrasound, which was not really a big decision.
That's not a big decision.
They let down. Very vague.
Yeah, that was vague.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say that whatever's happening with Fatima is something. It's going to come to a head at any rate.
Yeah, I think episode 7 is going to be it.
What about you, totally rad, that I still don't know your name? What do you think?
Scarlet.
Scarlet. Okay, Scarlet. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, let me think here. We'll probably have some scene with the dummy. The dummy probably won't talk.
Yeah, it won't talk.
Let's see here. What else has been happening? Some talk about her not being pregnant, I guess, but I don't know where that would go. Julie getting high again.
Of course.
Jim, maybe a scene of Jim and whoever he went with to the cabin. Maybe there'll be a cat. Because it seems like, don't the episodes kind of go a daytime episode, a nighttime episode?
Often. Yeah.
I had not thought about that, but yeah, they kind of do.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So maybe there's more of a nighttime people. Let me see what else is going on. Tilly will come back. Hopefully.
Wait, who will?
Tilly.
Oh, Tilly.
No, we didn't see Tilly. We didn't.
We'll see if Tilly will see Bat.
Didn't we see a little bit of Tilly? Or no? I was thinking maybe we didn't.
I think Tilly was
I know
missing.
Sarah wasn't in it. Acosta wasn't in it. Tilly, I can't remember. I was thinking Tilly was in it like in the background or something, but I might be mixing up which one it is.
Yeah. We saw like Clara a couple times.
Yeah, Clara was there. She's kind of a NPC or whatever you want to call her. She's not in it very often.
She just keeps popping up more and more. They're giving her a little more screen time.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah. I mean, I think Jade's gonna keep on. I think Jade's gonna maybe make some breakthroughs. I mean, nothing.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's gonna keep on investigating.
I just feel like they're gonna drag that out. Like, I just really want to know. I mean, I'm hoping maybe Ethan helps him and finds something that Jade isn't seeing, because the kid's got a different view.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're actually having Ethan look at this stuff with Jade, because he's a smart kid, and he might actually point something out that makes Jade have a brainstorm. So I like that. I like that. So I think Jade's going to continue, actually, I think he's going to take Ghost Tom's advice in the next episode and, really try to, stop with the alcohol, try to get his head clear, just focus on this and keep following. Yep. I know the episode synopsis said he's going to follow a trail of clues. So that's good. More investigating. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Which episode said that Randall was going to talk to Mari? Was that 6 as well?
I know. Wait, was it episode 6? Let me see. I have it right in front of me. Randall and Mari. Was that 6? Randall opens up to Mari. Yep, that was episode 6. That was the one we just saw.
He didn't really open up to her very much.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that really opening up from there, but I don't know.
Not really. Yeah, these episode synopses are very misleading, so we can't take too much.
Well, they're meant to be extremely vague.
They have to be. Yeah.
How are we all feeling about the pace of this season? I feel like every episode has at least one big thing, because they've got huge cliffhangers. But I think it's paced better. I like it a lot better than the second season. I know a lot of people didn't like the second season. I liked the second season, but I like this one better.
Oh, I think it's way better. I liked both. I mean, I really I enjoyed season 2 a lot more than some other people. I just thought that it wasn't as strong as season 1. I think this season is really killing it. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and the pacing. There are some issues here and there where I think that certain things were rushed, and I want it more. I want it more when they found the cabin village. I wanted to see them looking around to kind of build tension.
Yeah, I know. I really wanted to know what was outside the cabin.
We'll get more. I know we're going to get more from that. It's got to be building to something, especially now that we saw that flashback of Tabitha out at the Red Rocks as a child in the dream. There's something out there. There's some maybe loner living out there, or some entity that we haven't encountered yet. So that's exciting.
It's kind of interesting though. It does seem to be walking around. It didn't necessarily seem threatening.
Right.
I think it's just they didn't check it. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I've been stuck on that.
I was wondering if there was anybody in the chat that agrees with me that I've liked all 3 seasons evenly.
Oh,
I
really?
think they've all been good.
You think season 2 was even? This season 1?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I like this season. Well, I don't know. I like this season, I think, the best, but I also like
it has
season
a lack
1
of
a lot.
Smiley for one.
Right.
A lack of Smiley.
But season 1, though, I think I also like kind of because it's the introduction. You know what I mean? So I like them all for different reasons.
Right. Yeah.
And they have different They all have different characters in them that I like. I mean, I wouldn't be able to choose. I like all 3 seasons. If somebody said I could only watch one, I'd have a problem.
I mean, I like season 2 also. I do. Yeah. I mean, I think people criticize it too harshly. Personally, I enjoyed all of that. I really did.
What don't they like about it?
Like they don't like the cicada storyline. They didn't like that. I don't know.
The ballerina, the music box, and all that.
I thought the ballerina stuff was awesome. I thought it was creepy and really creative. I liked it.
I like them. I mean, there are sometimes some pacing issues, but it's so good. But I think the problem is, and then we'll go on. I put Karen's comment up, and then I'm not saying what it was. I think it's like I said about this episode. It's like sometimes it's more like the character development and the story moving forward as opposed to the mystery.
Right.
I think the problem is people want answers every single episode, and you can't. Unless you want him to introduce 20,000 more mysteries, to some extent, there can't be answers every single time. And it doesn't make it not good. You got to be patient with a show like this.
Right.
Karen says we're due for a break in the bottle tree puzzle. Yeah, I think probably soon we're going to have to. Yeah, because what I don't get, and I don't think people understand. I just was thinking about as she said that. I've been reading a lot of people lately that they're putting things like they were putting all the dates to see when we thought they were dates. We don't know their dates. We're saying that they may not be dates.
Right.
The 4-digit numbers, whatever the hell they are, putting them in as dates though, and putting stuff into like an AI and asking what it is. I don't think people understand the way it works. Like an AI can make, leaps in logic and things, but when it's looking up information and people are like giving these really weird, crazy things and saying this is what's happening in from, I don't think people understand that the AI is like searching online and going through everything it finds and pulling pieces here and there from, Google and everything else, that it can't give you a true answer because unless like the script was online or something.
Exactly.
If it's in the writer's heads and it isn't something that's online and available, it's not going to find the answer because it's not there. And
right.
I don't think people understand that.
Yeah. So. You can't figure out what it was in the writer's heads based on what the AI comes up with. It's just not going to work that way. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's interesting, some of what it said, but people, they ask it and then they're like, this is what it is, and they're like so adamant that that's what it is. It's probably theories where people online were adamant what it is, and that's why it doesn't realize it's theories. That's what I think. But Karen says we'll get Kenny hating Colony House. We might. The pacing. Well, I don't know that. I don't feel like time passing is necessarily equated to how slow the pacing is, though. But I get that. It hasn't been very long. I would agree with that statement, but I don't know that I don't necessarily think that's the pace.
Yeah, it hasn't been long that they've been there, but
no, it hasn't.
A lot has happened in that time. It's been it's wild when you think about how much has happened and hardly any time has passed for these people.
Yeah.
But there are certain episodes that are slower, and that has to be that way for, set up for future episodes and character development, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like we can't have big reveals in every episode. We can't have, they're gonna.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can't. Maybe Jim and the Forger will spend the night and we finally get a clue about the cabin. I hope so. I want to know more about cabins.
Right.
Oh, I was going to say something and I totally lost track of what it was. Oh, I know what it was. One of the discussions we were having before on our show was about character development. Like, how do you think, we talk about pace, one of the things about this show is a lot of the characters we don't necessarily get a lot of backstory on. And I think it's because there's way too many characters.
Yeah.
And also that they focus so much on the mystery. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. I love the mystery. To me, the mystery is the main thing I feel like I watch it for. So it doesn't really bother me most of the time. But how do you guys feel about that? I mean, do you think that they should spend more time on character development? I feel like if they did, people would be complaining even more that it's not moving fast enough.
Yeah, I don't. I think that they're doing enough with character development. I want more focus on the mystery personally.
Yeah.
I want more of that. So I think they're doing a pretty good job balancing both. Like in this particular episode, I thought you know, at first I was a little worried because at the beginning it was like very, very character driven, and the argument between Jim and Tabitha, and you know, and we had Fatima freaking out about getting an ultrasound, and Ellis talking her down, and you know, those scenes are, you know, they're good for character development and stuff. But I was glad we also got things that moved the plot forward, and you know, stuff to analyze. I personally, I'm in it more for the mystery than anything else, not for like the character drama of it all. But I know that that's really at the heart of the show, though. They want you to care about these characters and really flesh them out and develop them, and show how people respond to trauma in different ways and stuff like that. And that's cool. You know, I'm just so hooked on the mystery. That's like theory crafting and analyzing everything on this show. That's what I like to do the most with like a lot of the fandom. You know? That's why we're locked in.
No, I agree. I do too. I just was curious how you guys felt about it, because I know sometimes it maybe comes to the detriment of that. But I'd rather see the mystery.
Me too. If they had more time, if they had more episodes, then they could do more with both. So
yeah, I wouldn't mind if they did that.
Yeah, me too.
I like character development. I like character development a lot. I just don't like it, the old tropes where the couple gets into a fight because somebody's in a corner because they can't say something nice, or they can't say something wrong, honest, because they still won't be right.
Yeah, we have somebody.
Ridiculous.
We have somebody
that kind of stuff, trophy stuff.
Added to let's add Marty. Hi, Marty.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Thanks for coming.
Hi.
So what are we talking about?
Everything.
Yo, bro, for real. Bro, you know what I'm trying to talk about? The current situation in Brazil.
Okay.
What is that?
You know what they're doing to Brazilians, bro?
Okay, well, we're talking about From right now, so.
Oh, no. Really? Do you know what they're doing to Brazilians, though?
Okay, we're taking that off. Shit. Okay. Well, I don't know if you can edit that out. Somehow we'll have to figure out how to edit it out of the stream. I don't know how you do. I think you can.
I know that there's a way to do it. I don't know how exactly, but I do know that you can cut things out. Like you could make the stream private briefly, and there, I know there is a way to cut things out.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't screw up my monetization and they start being like, you can't use it now because you put porn on it. No. That was not my fault. I should ask if somebody let's make a new rule from now on. We would love you guys to join our live conversation. And if you want to talk on here, that's great. But tell us in the chat before you're going to do it, so we know you're a legit person coming on here to talk about From and not that.
Yeah.
Yes. So apologies to everyone. I kind of was ready to click it off, but I was trying not to be too rude. And then I'm like wondering, why is this person sliding around pictures? I'm thinking this is going to go bad. Yeah, it did.
Oh no, it's going to end badly.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, I'm like, nope, bye. Yeah.
It's crazy because that never happened to me. I've done call-ins a few times and I haven't had issues, thankfully, but I know that can happen. And
we
I
had
don't know why
somebody once on ours with audio, though. It wasn't like we weren't doing video, and I don't even remember what happened, but somebody came on and started saying all kinds of shit, and we had to kick them off. So it does happen, but I let him in, so that's my fault. I don't know a lot of these people. That's the thing. Like, I'm just meeting people, so
that's not one that I've ever seen before in any of my chats. So that was just a random troll. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't see though who's waiting to get in either. I should ask you before I open it.
Yeah.
Witnessing about needing answers. Karen saying something. I was going to say, how did he get in the studio? To answer you, Karen, I let him in the studio because I thought it was somebody that wanted to join us that clearly did not. Because I've been telling
you can ask both of us in our chat. We could tell you.
I should have, and I apologize to everybody for that. That was 100% my fault.
No, don't worry about it.
No, it isn't, because you didn't know. You're trying to.
No, it's kind of funny. I just want to cut it out of the video. That part. I mean, them being an idiot is one thing. The porn picture I'd like to cut out because it shouldn't be in there. That was not cool. All right. Anyway,
in the private chat too. Like,
I will do that. Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's see. Randall and Murray have a conversation about their shared coma. Yes, we're definitely overdue for the people talking more about the cicadas, I think. You know what I'm going to do? I'm talking. I'm going to mark down. It was like 120 just so I know where it is well, there, I must have clicked it off quick because Karen didn't see the picture. So I guess I didn't do a good job.
You were quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought something might happen. That's why I was kind of hovering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We were also
Good
for
instincts.
master. Yeah, maybe it's the whole cyclical nature. Let's see. Karen thinks season 2 was weaker. Hello, Chocolate Beauty. Thank you for coming. We're getting more people here.
Yeah, Chocolate Beauty is an awesome member of the Fromily. She supports a lot of from content creators. She's great.
Cool. I'm meeting lots of nice people today. Mostly nice people. That person was not nice that was here. What do you need a huge fan since day one? Yeah, they do need to answer. Everybody knows we do need answers, but okay, if we don't get nothing. I feel like we're not giving attention to Tabitha's vision numbers and dates. I was going to say, you're talking about the bottle trees, but you're talking about vision numbers and dates. Is he meaning that we're in the tower dream? I mean, because they're the same numbers. I'm not sure if that's what he means or not. Maybe you guys are.
Yeah, I think that must refer to the tower dream. Yeah.
Well, they're the same numbers as the bottles, so at least we're getting something.
Yeah, the 1864, right? So that's one, and then definitely.
Yeah. How many months? Karen's asking, how many months along was Fatima? I don't have an answer to that. It couldn't have been very long.
It was only
one.
weeks. It was only just a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole show's only got about a month.
Yeah, and Christy said she estimated a few weeks back in season 2. I forget how many, but it was no more than 6 weeks. I know that.
Yeah.
And Karen's saying one thing that's true, that Matthews are the most developed characters. And I think that's true. And I think that maybe that's a problem. Because all people do is complain about those. I mean, those are the characters people complain about the most, I feel like.
I know. Everyone seems to hate them.
Develop some other characters here. They should do 1 hour episode. Yeah, they should do longer episodes. Thank you for following me. Let's see. Fletcher, the Chromonocle. Nice thing. Oh, that's what you wrote.
Yes.
Yeah, the war dates on the stairs. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're getting the answers on. Well, I wouldn't say we're getting answers on that. We know it's connected to the bottle tree and the story with the bottle tree.
See, I'm getting something from this now that I feel that Tabby has seen the dates. Miranda must have seen the dates. I'm saying dates here for the 4-number combos.
Yeah, I know. I keep
maybe
saying
she installed the art tree because she had those dates in her head and put the dates in the bottles and then copied that tree.
Yeah, or that's why she put them in, because she's seen them. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, there's also, see, the thing is, we don't know for sure she put the notes in the bottles. Here is my question, and I asked this to somebody on Discord, and I can't remember if they said they were empty or not, but do we know for a fact, I want to go back, the bottle tree that's in the real world, does it have papers in the bottles?
I am not sure. I know they did a close-up on the bottles in one shot, so I need to go back and look at that shot because I don't remember seeing any papers in them. But there must have. I
feel like that's a big thing because, like you're saying, we're saying maybe Miranda, she saw them, so she wrote them down. But then there's the other theory, like we said about Victor's steps or whatever. We don't really know who put the numbers in the bottle. They aren't necessarily Miranda. I mean, it could be. I'm just saying we don't really know without a doubt.
Right.
So, yeah.
And the trees in Fromville, it's possible that they just kind of appeared there. Maybe they were just manifested by the trees that she made in Camden. Maybe. Maybe nobody hung the bottles in Fromville and it was just her art installation in Camden and they just appeared. It would make about as much sense as anything else in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go look at that still, though.
I'm looking for the still right now. I have another tab open, and I'm looking for it to have all the stills. Yeah, I need to see this.
That's something I can't do on my iPad. So cool.
Yeah. Did Tabitha ever get to the bottle tree in Camden? No, they did not get there. They got in the accident before that. That was why I was saying I wish they'd show that tree because I want to know if it has a hole in it.
It would have been nice to
Chance.
see.
Hopefully they'll show it sometime.
They weren't on the way home. No, they weren't on the way home. They were on the way to the tree when they got in the wreck. Tabitha tried to get out of the car, and he pulled her back in, and that's when the wreck happened. At least I think that's what I remember.
Okay, I found a still, and it shows it's a close up on 2 bottles. And one of them has the sunlight hitting it directly. You can see directly into the bottle, and it's empty. There's nothing in. There's nothing in this one particular bottle. It doesn't show any of the other ones, but in this one, it's empty. So that could mean that they're all empty in the Camden tree. I don't know.
It also makes me wonder,
really enough.
Is the bottle tree completely separate from the numbers? Like, if the numbers weren't put there by Miranda, it could be 2 completely separate mysteries that have nothing to do with each other.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Henry has paint behind him when Tabitha's eating his house and has a bottle tree with a hole inside. Yeah. Well, then maybe that other one did have a hole. That's why I still wonder that it's possible. Like I said, maybe it was a faraway tree and people don't know it. Maybe it's the way into the town and the way out of the town. Who knows? Maybe somebody blocked the hole. Maybe that's why they can't get home now. Who knows? There's so many things. Yeah. Well, I think we've gone through the chat. Is there anything else? We've been going for 3 hours now.
Yeah.
I know, Julie, keep going. I'm getting tired.
Amateur hour.
Yeah, no, I know. I gotta stay up and watch some screeners though before tomorrow. Another show. I haven't started yet. I spent the day doing From stuff and didn't do what I should have done. Yeah. So, what else? Is there any other theories anybody wants us to talk about?
Let me see.
Okay, let's see. Maybe the park bottle tree is a faraway tree to enter from what fell, but the way out is the fallen tree and someone broke it. That's interesting. Maybe that's why the tree doesn't let you leave. Maybe they needed that to get back and now they can't get back. That's actually kind of funny. I mean, it's funny, but it actually makes some kind of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Kimono Lady. I think she's gonna dupe Elgin into doing something that's gonna actually be a problem. She might even be connected to. I mean, she's always damp. Maybe she's connected in some way to that lake. That lake they found out in the forest. Maybe that's the Lake of Tears from Ethan's story. It represents the Lake of Tears, and
maybe she's in the Lake of Tears. Maybe that's where she lives.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's why she's so damp.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know what she's good. I don't know what could she do exactly. Like, there's got to be something that she could have him do that is gonna cause problems, and that's why Victor doesn't trust Elgin. I mean, he only said it that one time, but it's stuck in my head. Like, why doesn't he trust Elgin? We see he's a good person, so I think it's gonna be him getting tricked into doing something by this school lady. I don't know what exactly, but I'm trying to think what could that lead to? Something like, I mean, it won't be a matter of killing, like murdering anybody like Sarah.
Maybe drowning someone?
Yeah, drowning
I mean, he had that vision of him being drowned. I thought, well, maybe she was teaching him how to drown somebody.
I would hope not. It's very hard to predict where it's going from here. I don't know.
Most of my theories I had in the beginning of the season are kind of been blown out the window. So
yeah, I mean, the dummy. I don't think the dummy is going to just start talking and giving answers. That would be too easy. So I don't think the dummy's going to talk. Jasper's not going to talk.
You don't think that Henry and Victor are going to good cop bad cop the dummy?
No, I don't.
Interrogation scene.
That would be funny if they.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can get him to talk. Yeah, make him. Yeah, no, I don't do it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it'll be possessed. I guess we'll find out. Karen wants to know overall our thoughts on the episode and how it compares. Yeah, I kind of agreed. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't like, as I've been saying, not a whole lot of mystery-wise happening. I mean, we've got the Fatima storyline, and we've got the stuff with the bottle tree, and the stuff that Jade said about all the scientific stuff. But the rest of it was more story. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I didn't. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But I think it. Yeah, I agree. I think it was good, but it wasn't necessarily one of the best ones. What do you guys think?
I think it wasn't like the best of the season or anything like that.
Yeah,
I thought it got better as it went along. I got much more into it as we got more exciting things happening, not just character drama. That's good and all. I wanted to see some major developments, and we got that. So it hooked me in. I would give it like. I usually rate them out of 10. Like I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. I was happy with it. I liked it.
That's probably what I
see. That's what. Yeah, like I would say the whole season's been like an 8 because I think like the first episode for me was like an 8. The second with Kenny's mom was a 9. Then it went down to like a 7 for like the third episode, and then went back up to an 8. But when I add them all together, they're about a solid 8 all the way through.
Right. Yeah.
Some have a little bit more, but yeah. But the thing, I think finally getting something about her baby though was kind of a big thing.
But that's vague still. I'm
Yeah,
not 100% sure.
Yeah, because it still could mean a lot of different things. That's true.
Yeah.
Fletcher still believes Kimono Lady is connected to Fatima for shadowing Fatima's drowning, maybe. Elgin asked for a lake. Yeah, you know, I've been seeing all these things online about water and drowning and flooding and everything, and I have no clue. And yes, thank you for your support. We appreciate it.
Yeah, actually, I think this is going to add something happened in this episode that might add fuel to that Fatima connection.
Yeah,
because she was the one in the picture that had the kimono lady appear behind her. It was a picture of Fatima. So, is there some connection between this ghoul and Fatima, or was that a red herring? I don't think that it's future Fatima anymore, just because it was a Chinese woman hired to play that ghoul, and she's wearing a kimono along like a full. I don't know why it's a Japanese.
Definitely a different actress at any rate, so it's not like it's the same actress in makeup.
Yeah, and she's wearing.
But she's on Fatima's picture.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. What is the deal with the why? I mean, maybe
Elgin has a
random.
Maybe Elgin has to kill Fatima when she starts to turn into a monster.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I remember all the theories that Elgin was her son that was going around for a while. That was kind of
he just change. He doesn't look like he could be their son. It just doesn't really fit with his ethnicity. So, but it was a cool concept. It would have been interesting. Yeah. The casting would have been all wrong though if that were the case. Yeah, it's interesting though. I am curious as to why she appeared in that particular picture that Fatima was in the Polaroid. That was a really cool scene. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it because it's a trope that she would appear in one of the pictures, but I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I did too. It was cool.
I loved that. I loved everything with Victor and his father, the dummy,
the
cave scene. That was my favorite. I think my favorite part of the whole thing. I
like the Tom and Jade scene.
Tom and Jade. I like the Tom and Jade scene.
That was fantastic.
Karen says she doesn't like the suspicion of Elgin. She thinks he's chosen because he had dreams before he got there. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah, he is chosen. He definitely was supposed to be here, but for what?
But he might be chosen like like Sarah was chosen.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe he was chosen, but not in a good way.
like Sarah has seizures because she's deeply connected to this place too. And Elgin had a seizure when he got to town. So, I mean, he could have been chosen to be there to manipulate him. Like, I think he's a really good person. He's a good character, but he could be tricked into doing, that's the thing I'm concerned about with him. But yeah, he's a great, he's a good character. He's one of the people who's like, he's one of the select few who are tapped into this place. So the question is just, what is his role? That's never been clear. Why was he chosen? Why did he have the seizure, the premonition dream? It's interesting, because we know certain people fill roles. Like Ethan fills Victor's role, Jade fills Christopher's role, Tabitha fills Miranda's, but we don't know if there was a predecessor for Elgin. What role could that person have filled, and what did they do? I suspect it was something bad, that unintentionally, like, manipulated, that kind of thing.
I don't know. Fletcher thinks that the kimono lady is going to foreshadow Elgin killing her, drowning her.
No.
We'll see.
Ooh,
could be.
I hope not. Yeah, I that would be awful. I hope not.
It would be. It would be.
Some people do get manipulated, and good people. Like Boyd told Sarah once that this place can make good people do bad things sometimes. That's why Boyd was able to look past what Sarah did, because his wife Abby, she lost her mind and she thought she was helping everyone by shooting these people. She thought that she was going to get them all home. So yeah, this place can make good people do terrible things, thinking that they're helping.
Yeah. I don't know. There's also, though, the theory. I mean, I don't know if it's still a theory. I'm assuming it's still a theory, but you said that, and it made me think about, like, okay, she says killing them is how they get out of there. There's still the idea, though, that the boy in white pushed Tabitha off the lighthouse. I don't know how she could have survived that. That kind of makes me wonder sometimes, like, well, maybe he did technically kill her, and that's how she got out of there. Like you die in your dreams, you wake up. Although usually on TV, if you die in your dreams, you die in real life, so it's hard to tell. But I don't know.
Or she could be like a saint. I read a story about Saint Bernard, the guy that the dog was named after, and he jumped off a lighthouse, and the angels came and grabbed him and gently put him on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I don't
that
know.
could happen.
I just the way I explain it in my head is she went through a portal, and then the portal kind of just dropped her from a lower height onto the hiking trail where she was found. That's the only way I can make
a gentle fall.
A gentle fall, yeah, like because she didn't literally fall below that lighthouse, because she had to fall through some kind of doorway or portal into the other, the real world, as we call it. So
yeah. I don't know. Fletcher's asking. I don't know. That's what I was getting at, that maybe that's the case. I don't know that I believe that that's the case, but I thought of it when we were talking about that, because she was shooting everybody. And I know that is a theory. The problem is there's so many different theories on this show. They can't all be right, PM says kimono is like an insidious ghost entity. We don't know.
Yeah.
Starting to hurt. I think I'm running out of things. What?
Oh, PM's here.
Yeah, PM's here. I just said hi to her in the chat. PM my lives a lot. She's great. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to see, like, the same Fromley fan names, in all different From chats, and so, like, I recognized, these names in so many different From chats, and it's good to see. I'm glad it came out.
Oh, that's awesome. I have to start joining your chats in Discord.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, I just found out about your chats in Discord not that long ago, so this week. But we need to have to try that. But maybe we'll do this next week if you want. I'd like to do it next week, but maybe not screw it up, and then hopefully we'll get more people. I mean, we got a lot of people. I do appreciate everybody that came. I'm surprised we got as many as we did. With what happened. Yeah, Karen's got to go too. Yeah, Karen, thank you for coming. Karen, thank you everybody for coming. I think we're winding down. Do we have anything we haven't covered? I think we've gone over everything at this point for this episode anyway.
I think we have.
I don't think I have anything else to confess.
Yeah.
Well, just again, everybody, please like and subscribe and check out Julie's feed as well. And it is linked in the description. And yeah. So, okay. PM's saying they could be in a coma and wake up. Yeah, could be one of them. Maybe it's like a shared dream state or something. I think of like, what's that show called? Falling Water. I love that show.
Yeah. It's possible, like if you think about it, Tabitha, she woke up in a hospital. She was told that she was found by hikers on a trail, but she can't be sure of that. And then what happens? She gets in a car accident and she's unconscious. When she wakes up, she's in an ambulance. I mean, so you could say they brought her back to the hospital and plugged her back into the simulation.
Not only that, but
there's so many things that could work, But that's why I questioned that she fell out of a lighthouse and she was like just had a couple scratches. She didn't have any broken bones. It's kind of weird that happened, unless you said like it was like a portal, and because I mean it could have even been a portal and then it opened up like on the ground even.
Right.
She could have had this. Was the glass all there when you pushed her out? Did she break through glass?
Yeah, she broke her glass.
Okay, so all the scratches and everything could be just from the glass, and she could have not actually fallen anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also like this. Julie might find this funny, but maybe all her oh my gods and no's are just losing consciousness over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could do something to a person's mental and physical state.
Right.
I never really thought about it because it was like she was unconscious for like 3 days, then she was unconscious again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm saying maybe the numbers are hospital. See, I can't even read now. I'm getting sleep. Hospital room numbers. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hospital room. It was like the numbers all added up to 4, 7, and those 4s and 7s are all over the show.
Yeah.
It was
the cop car does, the ambulance does, etc.
I think it was. Wasn't it 2227? No, 222. What was it? 2225. So so it adds up to 4 and 7. Always 4s and
like that.
Yes,
I know the cop car was 1069 or 1093, and that adds up to 4. Yeah,
I mean, I can't deny, as much as I would rather it not be a simulation, I can't deny that it would make sense if she got in the car accident and they just took her back to the hospital and plugged her back into the simulation and she thought she was up on the ambulance, but maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't deny that is a possibility. It would explain everything that we've seen. You wouldn't have to go into anything too complicated to explain it. But I don't know. I hope it would be something else. I'm still rooting for Pocket Dimension, but I won't be mad regardless. I love the show. I love theory crafting, so I'll be happy with it. I'll have enjoyed the experience regardless, even if it turns out the whole thing is a simulation or something.
Yeah, I think it's more about the journey, not necessarily about the ending. I mean, you never know if you're going to like the ending, but I've liked most of what they've done.
Me too. Me too.
I like it to be team. I like it to be Team Faye or Team Lovecraft, but I have a feeling it's not going to be either of those.
I think it could be Lovecraft and Pocket Dimension put together.
There you go.
I think it could be.
I don't know enough about Lovecraft, so I can't really comment on that because I just really don't know.
I don't know that much either, honestly. I've just now started researching it.
I'm going to be looking up star magic. I'm going to be looking up star imagery and star magic, and I'll comment if I do those things and come up with a solution to that, like theory stuff.
Yeah, I'm new to it, so I even get nervous speaking on it, but I did look up some stuff, and like Lovecraft had a concept called the Dreamlands, which was like a place where you could go there, in your dreams. You could actually go there, and it was most often children, because children have the most vivid imaginations. But you could also visit as an adult, and you could go there physically. But it was harder to get there physically, and monsters lived there underground. So there are parallels between the two. And like, for example, we just saw Tabitha as a child had a really vivid dream of being there in the woods there in Fromville. So maybe she really did enter the place through a dream, not just a vision. That would be very Lovecraft from the little that I know. And I could be totally butchering it, but that's from what I've recently looked up, and it just seems to fit. It seems like this show is drawing inspiration from Lovecraft in a lot of ways. And Lovecraft wrote something that he wrote a book that it kind of was meant as kind of a continuation of a story that was featured in the first season. Kenny and Christy were reading a book by Edgar Allan Poe, the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, and that has a lot of parallels to From. So it seems like they're drawing inspiration from literature like that, and like Lovecraft, and even Stephen King. They set up with Maine, and Stephen King loves his Maine. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just the old ones and the whole cosmic thing, cosmic horror, and the old ones coming, the color out of space and things coming out of, the cosmic, the star arena. That's all I really had to say. Sorry. A little tired. Why did that my day?
No, it's okay. Yeah, PM said the Yellow King. Yeah. The
Yellow King, yes. Yes.
Yep. The connections to that too. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to speculate, but and Dieter said
I don't go any which way though. There's so many things to That's why there's so many different theories out there.
And I think they're muddying the waters right now even more, because they're throwing out so many little hints that could actually be a point in different columns for different fan theories. And
I have a whole chart of those.
It's a real place. That's what we were saying earlier. We hope it's a real place.
Yeah,
me too.
But I think I'll be happy regardless, as long as it makes sense. I think is my thing. Like, don't make it be something really weird that it doesn't. Is like out of nowhere. It needs to connect to what we've been seeing thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as long as it makes sense. The only ending that would make me upset would be if they're all in purgatory. But other than that, I
don't really want the Matrix. I don't want the Matrix ending either, though. I don't want them all plugged into something.
It would, even if that happened though, it wouldn't ruin it for me, because I love the journey too. Like I enjoy just the discussion and the theory crafting. So I won't have any regrets, even if it turns out to be bad. I just enjoy.
Or MK Ultra. I don't want to be MK Ultra either.
Oh.
Yeah, you keep saying you don't want it to be enough things. You might have. But no, there's so many different things, so many different theories. I try to read them. Some of the people I read them and I'm like, what? And then other ones, it's like, wow, that's interesting. I think we've gotten quite a few interesting theories from the chat tonight. I know some things I had never thought of that now I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it. I love these kind of discussions and seeing what everyone in the chat thinks. And because you'll hear one idea and sometimes you'll make a connection, and then you'll bounce off, you bounce ideas off each other, and it can lead to a whole theory forming. Like it's cool. Like, theory crafting as a group.
I mean, I like to see things. I wouldn't mind if it was a cosmic game between entities. I wouldn't mind if it was a pocket dimension. I wouldn't mind if it was just magic and fairies. I mean, there's also so many things I would like to happen as not. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're gonna. Oh, PM's here. Let me. Whoops. I know she's somebody you know, so I'll bring her in. There you go. Whoops. I don't know if she. I don't know if she muted her. Okay, I was gonna say I'm not sure if she muted herself or I need to unmute her. I don't want to unmute her.
I muted myself. Hi.
Okay, I didn't want to do it if you did it yourself. Hi.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, you guys. So nice to hear your stream. I'm so late, but I have a toddler and she's impossible sometimes. Well, what I wanted to tell you guys, because I was thinking about my mood after this episode, it kind of depressed me. I was not as excited or happy as I usually am with my From Day. And I think I figured out why. And it was that last little memory tidbit where Tabitha says, I dreamt of this place. And it's her like memory.
Yes.
I find that so depressing because we should be super excited about a revelation like that. However, we know from history of this show that they could at any point just say, oh, she misremembered. She didn't even look like that. That wasn't her. She could still be Eloise, even though it's a totally different face. They could just film the same thing with a different actress. And so at this point, it's like, it's really hard to theorize anymore because they could just change anything whenever they want.
I mean, I didn't take it that way. Like, I mean,
yeah, I don't know that they will. I thought it was just like she don't know exactly what it is, but I think that it's a different actress says that it's not Eloise.
Yeah, it's
definitely. I can kind of get it because I can kind of get it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it because it's so late in the game. And it's just like, you can make it now. Elgin might think of something that was completely like in first season or something like that. And they just throw that in there without any lead up. Because there wasn't even really any lead up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. Yeah. It just makes sense to me.
I mean, that kind of did the same thing to me. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing because I felt kind of the same way, a little let down that it was just like, oh, I had the dream about this place, you know, and it didn't come up in any other season, like any other, like, hey, Jim, I had this dream, or he came back from the cabin and she's like, oh, you know, that sounds really familiar to some dream I had. You know?
But
no lead up.
But she never would have known about those totems because they didn't discover the totems till this season. So she saw a sketch of it. It made sense to me because like nobody knew about the totems, and that's what jarred her.
And Jim wouldn't talk to her. You know, because Jim won't talk to Tabby about it, so I can understand that. He wouldn't say anything about it.
Of course. There's no communication. They don't communicate well at all. So I'm not surprised at all that they didn't tell her about that there were creepy totems. And even if they did, she wouldn't know exactly what they looked like. It was seeing a sketch that jogged her memory. So to me, it made sense.
If you saw a sketch, you would just think it was a creepy dream from when you were little. But the fact she kept having it more off, like a repeating dream, makes you think that maybe at some point she would have mentioned it. I get what you're saying. It kind of
exactly. It's what you just said. What you just said, because verbatim, she said, "Oh, I kept having this reoccurring nightmare. I didn't know it was this place." So it tells us that it wasn't a buried memory. It was something that she knew would happen when she was little, and she just kind of dismissed it. But if you're entering this horrible place with your family, you would say, like, you know, I used to get a lot of nightmares.
But she didn't know about the totems though, so I don't really. I mean, I don't know. To me, I just don't think she would have made a connection to this place. Like, for example, in that dream, in the dream that she remembered, there's something that's like descending at her, and she screams. So, okay, whatever is coming down at her, we don't know what it is yet, but it definitely can't be one of the monsters, because then I would be disappointed, like you, because I would think, okay, well, how could she not remember that? It's got to be something else. It's got to be something that she's like never seen in this place before, so she just didn't make the connection to this place.
But we're also kind of assuming
she woke up then, because she didn't say what she saw. Did they say that? I kind of assumed it, but maybe I just assumed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they pick up on the next episode with this conversation and they don't just drop it. But one of
Yeah.
the things I was like, oh, look, there's baby Tabitha. And then I thought, wait, I'm assuming that's Tabitha. It could be kind of like with Victor, where it was his crayons, his box. He was the artist, and all of a sudden they change it. And it wasn't his crayons or his drawings, it was his sister's. So it could be something like that. I thought maybe Tabitha, she didn't say I was here. She said I used to have dreams of this place. So could she be seeing another little girl?
You see, that's possible. But I think some of the drawings were Eloise's, but I think most of the drawings are still supposed to be Victor's, aren't they? Because he says, I drew it to remember, to make it remember or whatever. I do know what you're talking about. Some of the drawings that we thought were Victor's weren't. And I see what you're saying there, but
it was that specific basement memory. The basement memory was really like we were hanging on and rewatching and examining everything, like even his shirt being dirty after the massacre and his shirt being clean before. So we paid so much attention to the memory, and then they just like switched it up on us and said, oh, that wasn't even Victor who was told to keep drawing. It was actually Eloise.
Yeah, that was kind of a cheap trick when they did
it
that.
was.
It
I
was.
kind of assumed maybe he started drawing more like after, because she did, even like maybe since she had drawn, that's why he started doing it. But
Like,
yeah, I see that. And I get what you're saying. And it was kind of just out of left field, but it makes sense to me. But like, I understand what you're saying. It wasn't, if you had weird reoccurring dreams and you're in this place and you had like it just might be something that at some point you would mention, but yeah, I don't know.
So do you think that Tabitha saw what was lurking outside the cabins that other people experienced, and do you think that she will go to the cabins eventually?
For me, I feel like if we leave it, I'm really excited about Jade being involved and potentially being sober. Because if we leave it up to Tabitha, she probably would not. We have seen her just drop things. I mean, she doesn't revisit these places. She saw the Ankui children and visited there one time and saw them, but then didn't return to ask them, what do you need? Like, just ask them. Maybe they'll talk. Maybe, try it a couple of times. I think Jade being there when she discovers this is really going to help us, because he will force her. He will say, we need to go. We're going to go again, and you're going to tell me. Maybe even stay overnight, right?
I think they need to talk more and match up and see what they they know. More people need to give each other information. Fletcher's asking about the Peach Truck map. I assumed it was Victor, but to be honest, I hadn't really thought about it that much until you asked me. It actually maybe would make sense. It was Miranda if the numbers are on that map. And I'm saying if because that's what it showed on Facebook on that image, but that image was so hard to read and it looked like somebody had redrawn it to make it clearer. So I'm not sure how much was added and what was actually on it because you can't really see it. But yeah, I don't know. I had always assumed it was Victor, but it makes kind of sense that it could be Miranda. I don't know.
One thing about Miranda is that for some reason, she seems to have done more with the information that she was given. And granted, I am giving Tabitha the benefit of the doubt because she didn't remember. But Victor's mom really seems like a go-getter. Like she was having the visions and she was painting them. She was decorating her house with things that she was seeing. She was like talking about it to her husband. She really seems like she would potentially draw that map because she was actually doing something with what she was given, instead of being afraid of the visions.
That's true. She's more Jade-like, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jade is, he's really he's problem solving, you know, using the visions. He's trying to solve this. It's like a puzzle, and you know, hopefully he'll start to make some breakthroughs now. He's got something more to work with. He didn't really have anything to work with other than just sitting there drawing the symbol a million times in that notebook, which wasn't going to help at all. It's just going crazy trying to understand the visions, and now he has these model trees to analyze. He has all these numbers, so something will hopefully come of that. He'll make some kind of a breakthrough this season, I hope. You know, like it's not going to be huge because they need the show to continue, hopefully for a few more seasons, but at least give some kind of insight, you know, bring, you know, some kind of answer to the show, to the table, because we need something, something.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys, you know, and this is, I feel like it's but it's also like relationship wise, right? We have seen relationships play out, and then it would be no different. A lot of people were saying like, oh, the cop Acosta, right? She's really cute. And immediately we started thinking, Kenny, she's kind of like Kenny. Maybe she could become helpful to them. And then we went a step further and said, oh, maybe that's going to be Kenny's new love interest. And I was super surprised that this episode, he moved out. So now he's in Colony House. And as I understand it, she's also living there.
I was going to say, where is she? Is she in Colony House? I don't think they ever showed where she went, did they?
No. We saw her at the meeting, but not really.
And then she saw Boyd that one time.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought that too. I hadn't thought about the Colony House part of it, but yeah, I kind of thought too she could be a love interest, maybe sometime down the road. But
we just want to make Kenny a love connection. Poor Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny needs somebody.
That's gonna be really awkward. I was thinking, now that he's moving in there, that really surprised me of him to move there, because he always kind of mentioned Colony House in a bad light. Even when the Matthews arrived, he said they shouldn't be in that place. He doesn't ever mention it in a positive manner. So now that he moved in there, I was a little surprised, and thinking that he potentially could make a love connection with the cop. That would be really weird and really awkward. We don't really have love stories in From. Even the Matthews are not a love story. And the one that we did have,
Fatima and Alice.
Yeah, that one is going horribly. Like, this is their first year of marriage, is going bad.
All the time. That's some of the time.
As long as they don't focus the whole story on it, I think it could be good. But I think he's more just moving out because of the memories of his mother's making it too hard to live at the house. I mean,
and the Matthews, and he can't live with Jim and Tabby anymore because
there's that too. You're joking more about them. Definitely possible.
That's true. There was another negative point. A lot of people dislike Jim, and we have like a tally of negative qualities and traits. We can now add that he will move your stuff around, even if it's not his house. He just likes to move and to, like, display things.
Yeah. He's like the creatures in the caves. He's moving everything around now. You're right. Let's see. Randy Moore says, could have been astral projection. We see it was possible with Randall, Julie, and Mariel trapped in the dungeon while their bodies were still in town. Yeah, that was sort of seemed like it could have been like an astral projection, or that their minds were there or something. I don't know. Oops. All right, guys. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get sleepy, and I do need to watch some other stuff before I can go to bed. So I'm already going to be up to like 4. So,
yeah.
So I'm about ready to call it a night. But I would thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. I would love to do this again next week, and maybe we'll get it going right away.
Yeah, that would be great. I would like that.
So, guys, look on Sci-Fi-vision Twitter, and I'll post the link and when it's going to be and everything. But come back and talk again. And like I said before, we have our show on Tuesdays, our normal show. I'm not sure when Julie's shows normally are, but I know a lot of you are in her Discord, so you probably know more than I do as it is. But,
yeah, Wednesday and Thursday nights. I'm kind of crazy.
Most of Wednesday and most of Thursday. And a lot of Friday mornings.
8 hours most of the day. But thank you everybody seriously for coming, for talking, for listening. Appreciate it lots. I had a lot of fun. I just gotta watch the stuff, and then I gotta get up and do interviews, or I can't go straight to bed. So
I hear you.
The length of my lives is completely insane. Like it's ridiculous, but I enjoy it. You know, I'm trying to cut back though. Like even this is a lot.
We did almost 4 hours. I never thought we'd go that long. That's why now I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go watch a few hours of something.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you're able to.
I hope I can get up in the morning, but hopefully I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's easy to get sucked into from discussion.
Yeah, it's very easy to get carried away when you get into a discussion with other fans who are into it, and as much as you. And
it's very
believe me, I know. But thank you for inviting me to be on. I really had a good time.
I had fun. And if anybody wants to listen to some of it that they missed, you can go back and replay the live stream on YouTube. I don't know if I think most people saw most of it, but if you want to go back, you can. It's there. And I've deleted the mess up one so people will know which one it was. There was like 2 something that was there. But yeah, everybody come back, and just a reminder that Elizabeth Saunders is going to be on our Sci-Fi-vision show on 11/26. But all the notifications, I always post them on Twitter. So I was going to say somewhere here I should have a X. There we go. Sci-Fi-vision and X. It's kind of easy to find everything. It's all Sci-Fi-vision. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Good time. Be thinking about theories, and I'm sure have more to talk about next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's always stuff to talk about with From.
Yeah. I really didn't think we could go this long, but we did. So enjoyable. All right. Have a good night, guys. I'm going to end the stream, so it'll probably kick you out when I do. But thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks for having us on here.
Sure. Thanks for coming. Thanks everybody in the chat for giving your opinions. We appreciate it. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.